Billy the Beast.
Yeah, man. All right. We are live or recording.
All right. Welcome back to How Copy. It's May 4th. I remember that because tomorrow's my sister's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah, dude.
Shit.
Well, fuck. We've been doing this for like a month already or 2 months.
Yeah, this will be episode number 8.
Right.
Very special episode because I am fucking high.
So am I.
I was a big time pot user, cannabis user, whatever you want to call it, back when I was a teenager. And then sometime around my, early 20s, because, I went to work and all that, I started getting real paranoid. And if I smoked it, I could only do it at night.
Oh, yeah.
In bed.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like,
not going anywhere.
I used to be like that too, man. It's like I couldn't, well, at school it didn't matter. I'd smoke it in freaking school.
Yeah,
but
I was a kid.
as an adult, I'm like, okay, so I do it responsibly. Like, okay, I'm going to have to be somewhere where I won't have to do anything for like the next 4 hours or 8 hours or whatever, because I usually end up falling asleep afterwards anyway.
Yeah, well, that was been my problem. So I stopped using it for a long time because I would just dread it. Like, being stoned is awesome. But prior to, I would dread it. Like, oh, fuck, I'll wait another hour in case something comes up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I started back up, about a week and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay, and I just do it at night. But Sunday, I decided I'm going to start advancing the whatever you want to, the skill.
The skill.
So I woke up and I was medicated, and then I went to eat. We went surfing, and then we went to breakfast, and I was driving around, and I was doing everything was copacetic, man.
Sunday was a pretty good day. I got there. That was when I got there in the evening.
Yeah,
dude.
The morning was pretty good.
That's what I heard, man.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was. Look, the waves this weekend were good. I was just off. Friday sucked, and I owe you an apology, so I'm going to apologize here.
Why?
Well, we were in the parking lot, and I was tired, and I had been there for 3 days, and then we were talking about epic days, and you said Friday was epic, and I was like, no, it wasn't fucking epic, man. I was more pissed at myself. Like, who the fuck am I to tell you?
Oh.
Remember, you were like, I said, how many fucking waves did you ride? It was so big, and you were like, well, the one ride that I caught was fucking epic, and I was like trying to gauge it by how many waves I rode.
Yeah.
And then I got like halfway home and I was like, who the fuck am I to tell you what a good day of surf is? You know what I'm saying? If you go out and catch that one fucking wave and you're stoked, that's fuck what I think about it.
It was like, dude,
so I apologize for
you're
that.
good, bro. Like, I knew I'll let you humble yourself. It's okay, man. I don't have to humble you. I'll just sit back and watch.
Yeah, man. I fucking thought about that. And
Dude,
I was like, dude, I'm a dick.
I was hoping, because you always talk shit about like, oh, no.
I got out.
You got out, but I was hoping you went for when you got up on that big fucking wave.
Oh, no.
Dude, this wave
Pussy.
had to be.
I'm a pussy.
Dude, no shit. No fucking joke. 12 foot. I'm going to claim it.
Yeah. I think
10
it was
12 feet.
I think that's being very, very conservative because when I look down at you.
Yeah. I was looking up like this.
Yeah.
You're up there, dude.
And I look down, it maybe 12 feet feels like 15 to 18. Like I felt like when I was I didn't go down the wave, but I started to get lifted up, and I'm on a 9-foot board, and there's like what seems like a board and a half to 2 boards of length to the bottom of the wave.
At least.
And I'm like, fuck that. It was like my fucking pussiness saved that fucking day.
No, dude, it was smart.
I don't think that I would have made that wave.
That's not a wave that a lot of people would have went for. But I remember sitting there and I was stuck in the middle trying to get out past that final set, which was just huge and just dude, those barrels were doing that shit again where they make that whoa. But it was like scary closeout. It wasn't like, oh, it closes out, you get tossed. Like that's gonna break your freaking neck if it
I'm gonna
closes
tell
out
you what happened when we were at Blockade, man. I was like fucking tired of, I guess, wussing out because I was watching the closeout and I'm like, I'm trying to swim up and down. The current was real hard that day, but I was trying to get on a shoulder because I know I'm on a longboard and these waves are big.
Yeah.
And so I finally got frustrated with myself because I kept missing the shoulder. I should have been more to the peak if I was going to catch the wave. So I finally just went into the peak and I caught the fucking wave and I did not look down. I made myself not look down. So I made it out and my fucking guts, like, when you fucking levitate for a second in an airplane or that happened. And I was like fucking stoked. And I'm like, okay. And I stepped 2 steps to the rail to engage it. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. I can see it walling up. And then within a split second, I felt the damn pressure come down on the back of my board and it took my feet and threw me that way. So I did a half a backflip and then caught the lip.
Oh, that's
it
when you
flipped me over twice, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm good. But then I guess the under roll got me and it caught me sideways because, I was balled up.
Yeah.
And it flipped me over. And so I don't know what happened. I came out of my ball and I was just like flopping around. I felt my leg up here because of the leash. And then it slammed me down into the sandbar.
And it's like it's holding you.
And it knocked the wind out of me underwater.
I
and for a split second, panicked. But panic in a way like if I don't get air, I'm sucking in water. So I jumped straight up and I was on the sandbar. So it was only up to my waist. And I got a big old breath before that next fucking wave closed out on me. And it was like, and I did it again. I was already out of breath. Yeah. And all my oxygen was depleted. Bro, that shook me, and I think that may have affected me on taking that wave, which was smart.
That wave was way bigger and way more brutal.
Yeah, and that would have closed out right on me.
I saw the aftermath of that, and your board, that's why I was like, oh shit, because I was paddling around, and I went up on the wave, and I saw you down there, and I saw your board just go crazy. Like, oh,
keep your microphone front. Yeah.
That looks like it
sucked. I was not going out for the wave. What happened was I was staying way past the lineup because I wanted to gauge the size of these waves because, they come in, they break, 100 yards this way, but they swell up there in the back.
Yeah.
So I would get to the bottom and look up, and I was like, there's no way. And you were waving at me. I think you thought I was getting sucked out.
It looked you were out there, man. Like that was a far line out. Yeah. That was very far in the back. And the current was just surging out. So I was like, is he... Because I couldn't see you. I could only get split-second visions of you because the waves were so high.
That's how big the fucking waves were.
Yeah. And every time I come up, I try to look, and I saw you out there, and I was like, is he okay, or is he trying to get back in? Because the rip was bad.
No, I was aware of it. And then when I saw you waving, I just thought you were fucking pointing.
No, I was waving at you.
I thought you were doing the Brennan, like, oh, look down there. Look at the break that we're not on. Yeah. You're studying. So I was like, man, so I decided, okay, I'm not riding these waves. I'm going to go in.
Yeah.
And as I was going in, a set came in and it went underneath me. I kind of stalled. But then I looked behind me and the third wave was like, it looked a little smaller. So I was like, I'll take this one and I'll ride it in because you were in the front, whatever you call it, the inside.
The inside,
You were caught in the inside on that little fucking toothpick of a board.
Dude, I was so tired. But you know why? You ride a little board on those days because what happened to your tail? Yeah. You don't, nothing wrong with riding a long board, but problem is on those waves is that you get in a wave like that, dude, there's so much extra wave that if you're not like freaking if you're not all the way to the back of your board, like nailing through that, like just cruising through that wave, that's just going to close out on your board.
Sure. They were different types of waves because last year we were riding some pretty good waves. They were over 8 feet, but they weren't. But they were peeling like
solid faces.
Yeah, there was no fucking closeout like that.
Yeah, these were just straight like you get a ride and you go for it and you drop in. You might get shacked, but you get the fuck out of the wave. Yeah. Like you don't now. I will say this, dude, at 12 or Access 4, I said 12. I don't know where 12 came from, but Access 4, when I went on the evening of Sunday, we got there at 5, dude, and it was just perfect in the back. Yeah. I will claim this. This guy caught a right, and that was the longest ride I've ever seen at Wrightsville, dude. That
on
dude
a longboard?
No, it was like
on a surfboard or on that boogie board?
It was like a mid-length surfboard.
Oh, okay.
It was like it almost like a gun. It was like it looked like it had a pin tail. And, it was concave or pointed in the nose.
Right.
And that dude dropped in on that wave. He caught it perfect in the peak, and he just kept going, dude. And he went. I was like, no way. And he did his little cut back, came back, and the wave kept going. And the wave, it would close out, but then it would wall up again. And it was a continuous, you could see, if you focused on the shoulder looked like a train.
Yeah.
Just going along. And it was beautiful, man. He caught that thing, and I was like, damn. I was counting in my head. I'm like, that was a good 30, 45 second ride.
That's a long ride.
That's a long ride here in North Carolina, man. And
Sunday was a good day. It turned into a good day, but we had gone that morning, like I said, smoking, and I don't drink, but Willie had brought some some Mexican beer, so I had one, and then one led to two, and then I was like, I ain't drinking no more. But I was just tired, and by the time it was like when we went to the pier, when you said you were coming, I called you and said, turn around, man. It was like 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Changes so quick, dude.
And then as soon as it rained. And I was in the car with Willie. I said, I fucking hope Brennan's not fucking right. And as soon as we got back from dinner and I walked out on the beach, I saw guys running with their surfboards. Dude, shit.
Place, man, I've stopped trying to look at the cams because the cams will show some bullshit. And then you're like, fuck it, I'm not going, right? You wake up, like this morning, for instance, I was like, nah, it looks like ass. About an hour later, there was a couple rideable waves. But I've been out there, like Friday, for instance. Friday morning was horrible. Like Martin and I were out there trying to get something, and it was all just surgy. Yeah. There were peaks, but it was that chaos where you can't stay in one spot, and then as soon as you move, it's breaking over here. You move over here, it's breaking over there. Right. And then it changed up though. The wind died out, the rain came through, it got crazy chaotic like it did, and then it calmed down.
But it didn't calm down. Friday was a shitty day.
I mean it cleaned out and it glassed up. That's what I meant. And that Wrightsville, man, I've been out there with Kaimi, and we've been out there, and every condition that could possibly happen in the ocean has happened to us within like a 4-hour period.
Yeah. I think that if you learn how to, I think you told me this, and I agree because I've surfed in only another location in Costa Rica. But when you surf at Wrightsville Beach, if you can get consistent, then when you go to an actual good surf break, you're gonna have it, because we have to work so fucking hard. Our waves, like when I was in Costa Rica, it was literally like 12 seconds, 13 seconds, sometimes like a full 30, 45 seconds. It'd be flat, and then you'd see it rolling in. Yep. So you'd get ready, and it would only be 2-3 feet high or smaller, but you could get on it, and it had the power behind it.
Yeah.
So I was amazed at how easy it was, and then come back to Wrightsville, and it's like, you think this good, days where it's got like 4 or 5 foot waves, and you paddle into it, but it never breaks.
Right.
Or it breaks for a second, then it hits the deeper channel, and then it dies.
It just dies out.
That's how I blew my knee out last week.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So it was a pretty dope weekend. I stayed in an Airbnb. And I'm going to tell this story on the podcast.
This is great, yeah.
So I'm driving to this Airbnb down Henderson Street, I think it was, or Hendrick Street, one of those, Access 18. And as I'm driving down, there's fucking kids or young people, college people, all up and down this road. And there's beer pong tables, and they're throwing Frisbees, and there's music playing. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is it? I thought maybe it was spring break, but then it dawned on me that spring break was like last month.
Yeah. And
then I thought, well, maybe there's a holiday that I don't know. So fuck it, I stayed in this nice little place, man. Good deal. Little fucking Grateful. It's like decorated with Grateful Dead shit.
Oh man, Jody would have loved that.
It was yeah. She was supposed to make it, but next time she'll go. So we go, we do our thing, and I guess it's about 11 o'clock that night. I fucking am tired and going to bed, gonna get up early, and they're fucking still going, and you hear them like giving no fucks. Yeah. Loud, calling, fighting, arguing, horns honking, and music bumping from 3 different houses. So I just walk outside, smoke a cigarette, maybe. I was thinking I went out to smoke a joint. And I talked to the homeowner of the Airbnb. And I'm like, is there a fucking holiday that I missed? And she was like, nah, this is like, they rent those. This is like normal.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there thinking like, okay, it's my this is normal. I'm in their backyard.
Saturday night, right?
Yeah, Saturday night.
Yeah.
I think they did shut it down pretty early, but it just blew my mind that this was not a campus. This was not someone's backyard. This is like a public fucking street.
Yeah.
In America, and these kids are drinking, beer pong, being loud, and I'm like, God damn, the next time I say there ain't no such thing as white privilege, punch me in the fucking face, because I'm going to tell you right now, bro, if that was a group of black or Latino, Dominican type music playing, there's no fucking way that they... And I was thinking, well, what if I wanted to complain? Who am I going to fucking call? The cops?
Right.
These are $1 million homes. The fucking 3 of their daddies probably sit on the fucking council, lawyer. The cops ain't going to fuck with them. But yeah,
sometimes that roses are red, violets are blue. It don't always be like that, but sometimes it do.
Sometimes, man. Sometimes, So dude, that's the first thing I thought of.
It's weird because, I guess, now that I think about it, I've never really been to Wrightsville on a weekend night. I'm always out of there by evening.
Yeah.
Now now it does make perfect sense because we've never, even with the family, when we used to go to the beach every day, we'd leave at 10, but it was on a weeknight, and everything would be dead.
Yeah, no. During the summertime, I noticed last year when I used to go down there, and I took Jody the first time, and I stayed in a hotel, and we went to the Shark because I don't know restaurants there, and I don't like driving around in Wilmington, so I went to Shark right there off of Johnny Marsh's Pier.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I mean, it was good food, great place, but I noticed then, because it was 8 o'clock, it took an hour to get in, and we were standing outside with 100 people, and they were all college aged. You know what I mean? Maybe they were out of college, but I mean, I'm in my 40s, so they were definitely in 20s, 30s. So I noticed that, and when I was laying in bed listening to the I don't know what they were playing some new age like rap. You know, you can't understand what
mumble shit. It's funny, a bunch of privileged white kids listening to like
that's all they listen to. It's like trap music is what I would call it. I don't know if that's the right term.
I guess that's the thing, man. I just don't get it. But am I detached?
There was there was no problems. I mean, I think two guys were arguing, but I think he was arguing over a parking spot. But it wasn't. I came outside because I'm thinking, I don't know if there's a fight going. I'm in the back, so they can't see me. But I definitely. Oh, and the fucking. No, I guess I won't. I'll leave this part of the story out. But one of the people that was standing there with me, the neighbors in the neighboring house came out to the balcony, and you couldn't really see them because of the light. But I knew they were college kids. Yeah, and they asked what was going on, and this person that's talking to me that I don't even know tells them, "Well, that's what happens when everything in life is handed to you, and these spoiled ass." Blah. And I'm thinking. I don't know this bitch. I don't want to get my ass kicked, man. But I don't even have enough bullets. There was literally like probably 200 people.
Damn.
And most of these kids are in fucking shape, bro.
Yeah, because that's all they do.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't mean just like, oh, man, he's healthy. Like, ripped.
They're track and field.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
so,
rock stars. Yeah. You
I don't give a fuck I don't care if I had a fucking M60 machine gun. I'm going to run out of a belt. You know, I can't carry a whole... So I just was like staying, I wasn't getting involved, but it was a good time anyway.
Yeah, I've had a brush up like that in Auburn University back in 2003 with some like 10 of my Army buddies. Yeah. So we were.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah. We got invited to a party, and we're young kids. We didn't think anything of it, but we get down there and we're like, wait a minute. Everybody here looks fucking the same, man. Like we're the oddballs. What's going on here? So. I swear to God, this is 2003, man. Every dude had a fucking polo shirt on with the collar popped and like puka shell necklace, and they all had the fucking Ashton Kutcher hair. Yeah. And here we are, and they're a bunch of dumpy fucking just rich fucking Southern kids. Yeah. And here we are, like dudes that are in shape that have short hair, and we just don't fucking fit in, right? So we're immediately ostracized, and everyone's like eyeing us up. Yeah. And then it dawned on us we were at a fucking frat party, right? Yeah. So we're like, all right, cool, whatever, man. Like, we're here. We're fucking drunk. This is Auburn. It's fucking, an hour from Fort Benning. Yeah. So we're just like, whatever. We'll grab some more beer and we'll just chill. And we were, chicks were coming up to us, like, because we're different. And they were interested in us. And I guess that didn't sit well with the frat boys.
Oh, shit.
So.
This is going to be some more ginger injustice.
No. Ginger injustice. No, This is 10 of us now, and we're all multicultural.
Shit, you got the whole squad.
Yeah. No, exactly. This is where it's going. Yeah. So we're sitting there, and we're like, fuck it, man. I guess my buddy went to 7-Eleven real quick. He grabbed like a cube, like a case, right? And we're like, all right, we'll just finish our beer. Maybe we'll get some numbers, and we'll call it a night, right? Well, so how we had gotten there was one of the dudes in my unit was from Guam, and like he met another dude who was an Islander.
Guamanian?
Yeah. Okay. Chamorro. Yeah. And he was like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, tight-knit community. Like, people look out for each other. Yeah, and, just like sure. Filipinos and stuff, Islanders, island culture. But I guess the guy invited him because he's like, what's up, bro? We're having a party. You should come bring some friends, dude. Like, bring some homies. Like, you're welcome, Right. So it kind of was fucked up because, like, we felt like we were invited there and we were welcome there, but we weren't, Well. So anyhow... We're sitting there drinking our beer, and we're sitting on like this brick stoop, and like the party, the frat house is over here, and like there's all this craziness. All of a sudden, this dude comes up and just starts giving it to my buddy, like just like, what the fuck you doing here, man? He's like, drinking fucking beer, dude. Oh, free fucking country, bro. My buddy from Guam. And dude's like, nah, man, you guys need to fucking leave. He's like, why? Like, we were invited here. We're just chilling. He's like, no, you guys are fucking selling drugs. We're like, fuck you talking about, dude? Like, yeah, you're giving drugs to people. Like, we're fucking soldiers, dude. Like, we can't sell drugs, buddy, like at all. We can't touch fucking drugs. Yeah. And we really didn't want to pull that card, but now these guys are being fucking fags, right? Well, I can't say that. They're being douchebags, right? So sure enough, my buddy Maximo's like, man, fuck you, dude. Like, we're finished. Okay, fine. He's like, we'll finish our fucking beer and we'll bounce. Cool. I guess it wasn't good enough for the dude, right? The dude fucking pours his drink on Max. Max fucking goes and just fucking starts giving it to him, dude. Next thing you know, there's like 100 motherfuckers, dude. And we're fighting for our lives, dude. It's 10 of us. Oh, shit. Maybe not 100, but like 60.
That's a lot.
It's 10 of us. But these are
10 against 15 is...
Dude, these are dumpy little fucking out-of-shape dudes that thought they were fucking tough, and they were nothing but their parents' money, man. Auburn University. And to this day, fuck Auburn. I hate Auburn. Shit. I still hate Auburn. Just because every time we went there, nothing good ever happened.
I used to not like Auburn because I was an Alabama football fan.
But every time we went to Auburn, nothing good ever happened. We always got fucking looked at differently because we were soldiers, And I'm sure there were soldiers causing shit there, but there's just a jealousy, man. Anyways, this shit goes to the streets, right? So we're all fucking like, we're like, fuck it, dude. We can handle this, man. We can handle at least like 30 of them, right? So shit's flying everywhere. They're like pushing us out like in echelon, like in a crowd. And we're like, you know, the Spartans fucking holding the line. So my buddy's like, fuck it, dude. He's like, I got a tire iron in the car. I was like, we can do something. So we thought we were fucked, man. So we're slowly making back to the cars. And we get to the cars and all of a sudden we notice blue lights. And the fucking cops come like shit was about to go down. Like there's punches thrown, dude. Right. There was definitely fucking beef, you know. But I will say we fucked up quite a bit of them. It was great.
Yeah, awesome.
But anyhow, we get to the cars and the cops come and like the cops are like looking at us like, guys, are y'all soldiers? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, where y'all coming from? We're like, Fort Benning. Like, you guys got a sober driver? And we're like, yeah, we do actually, officer, which was a total fucking lie. But we had one kid who was with us he was underage, so yeah, he was sober. So the cops like, guys, sorry, you know. Just don't mind the cops are on our side. They're like, get back safe. Fuck, leave these dudes alone. Just don't come around here. Nothing good happens.
Damn, and you're kind of like a fucking
shit magnet.
You're a magnet for fucking hatred, bro. Like I've never experienced that type. Like I've had similar situations where I have been in an environment where I didn't feel comfortable, and it was always with those types of people, fucking white. You know, from upper class fraternity type dudes. Nice enough guys, because obviously I was there because I knew one or two of them, but in a group, when they get into a group, and they literally have a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like entitled attitude.
Yeah, that's
like
what it is.
They literally think, I've heard it, you know, do you know who my dad is and shit? Like I've heard that between them. You know, those types of people. And it's like, if I was in a bar talking shit, if my dad was the fucking baddest mafioso gangster in the area, and I was in a bar being a fucking douchebag, or at a party and I was name dropping, if my dad found out about that, he'd kick my fucking ass.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, I didn't really get that vibe. That was the weird thing from the fucking Jersey Shore down there at fucking Wrightsville Beach. They were actually pretty cool. Like I had to drive through their crowd, and they would always get out the way. Yeah. And one of them was like, I think there might be one spot, and I was like, I'm staying down here. So, you know, he offered to like, don't waste your time, all the parking's taken type of thing. But
the Jersey Shore. The funny thing is, it probably is mostly people from Jersey too. Which is the funny part.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of transplants, man, in Wilmington.
Yeah.
But
so let me change the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
I got a friend of mine that you don't know. His name is John. Okay, so I'm not going to say his last name unless he wants me to. And then I got a friend named Randy, and you know Randy. Okay, so Randy is a golfer, and I saw this meme. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I tagged him in it.
About golf.
It's about golf, but it gets you going thinking like the odds of you dying in a plane crash are 1 in 11 million and blah, 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 blah. And this is how bad you suck at golf. Like it makes you fucking like listen to these statistics just so the guy can say you suck at golf.
Yeah.
And anyway, long story short, Randy made a comment, and I then tagged my other buddy, John, because my buddy, John, is a golfer. So I wanted him to see it. So that put two good golfers in the same chat forum. And I think it was one of them said, hey, does your buddy play for money?
Oh.
You know? And so they went back and forth. This is a whole fucking chain. And like Randy posted his bank account to show that he had the money. Like,
what?
They're talking about 1,000. I think Franklin said 1,000 a hole.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so I was talking to Randy.
Serious.
It got serious.
Uh-oh, Randy, are you out there, man? Are we still cool?
No, it didn't get angry.
Okay.
But it got like, you know, the two guys want to play each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's all love. I don't think there was any.
$1,000 per hole. That's a $9,000 game.
Yeah, or fucking
1918.
No, it's $20,000. But
wow.
Yeah.
I'll go play. No,
Randy wanted to know if he did it, if John would have the money. You know, he said, I ain't, you know, so this is just me vouching, and I want to try to cover it. Like, I really want to see this, just as long as it can be fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because obviously we can't promote it. There's no use in talking shit. But
man,
I will say this. You know, I don't know how good either one of them are because I don't know the game of golf. But I don't know. Randy is a very competitive guy.
Yes.
You know, he played collegiate football, whether it was B level 1 or 12. I don't know how that works either. But I just know that in order to be a quarterback,
Yeah.
You know, you've got to be a competitive motherfucker. You got to be very confident in your ability when you're a fucking quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you can play quarterback as a kid, but when you get into high school, shit changes. You know what I mean? And then it gets real. And then you get into fucking college. It's like a military operation, and the quarterback's like the fucking general on the field.
Oh, yeah.
You know? That's the way I interpret being a quarterback. I don't think it's just hut, hike, and throw the first open guy a ball. Like, they have all these plays they got to go through. So anyway.
You ever notice that, like, when you read military history and you find out about a guy who was a good soldier,
they were
awesome leader, they usually played high school football.
Or they played high school. They were played at fucking Harvard. Yeah.
Awesome, you know, athlete or college football player or something like that.
So, so I have a lot of respect for that. I know that I didn't have the mentality or the attributes to do anything like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. I'll joke around and I'll say, well, you can teach a monkey to throw a football type of thing, but it really, and then getting hit and all that. So we're going to just say that about old Randolph Weber, that he's very competitive. And if he says he can play golf, he's talking shit because he probably can back it up.
Yeah.
Or he's just that confident. I don't know. John, on the other hand, has been playing golf since as far back as I can remember. And I've known him since he was in the fourth grade.
Have you played golf?
No, I tried. I can go down that road in a second. Let me just get this out here. So John, he was like hung out with us dirtbags, riding skateboards and shit like that. But then he would always like go away for a little, you know, parts of the week because he was playing golf. And our parents didn't play golf. We didn't grow up around a golf course. But apparently John's really, really good. So, but I don't know. I wouldn't, if you were going to bet on either one of them, I can't bet on either one of them because they're both my homies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to see them. I want to see them be them.
Right.
I want to see Randy talk shit and be a competitor and get out there, but I hope they both win if that's even possible.
We should cover this.
I want to cover it. That's what I said. You got to, I wish we had
Where's it going to be played at? Southern
Probably
Pines?
Kings Grant because my parents live there and we could probably use the backyard as like a staging area.
Isn't Randy?
I want to film it.
Doesn't Randy usually play there anyhow?
Yeah,
I think I've seen posts.
He hit a hole in one out there like 3 months ago.
Now that dude, that's
I
don't know much about golf, but
that's luck.
No, hole in ones are fucking.
They're rare because they're so lucky.
That's the thing you remember your entire life. I think that's kind of cool, man.
No, it's badass. Don't get me wrong. But I'm sorry, if a guy could go out there and just train to tee off to the hole in one, there'd probably be a lot more of them. It's very rare that it happens.
Yeah.
And no, it's badass. I could never get a hole in one because I couldn't even get when I hit the golf ball, it goes right or left.
Man, I couldn't. My stepdad was an avid golfer.
Yeah.
And that was his shit. You know, he was always playing golf. And he took me out one time when I was a teenager, like once, and I know he really wanted me to play golf because then we would have had something in common that we liked and we could have bonded over. But man, I went out there and I was like, man, fuck this. Like,
it's hard. It didn't
to me,
appeal
it's
to me. Boring.
Yeah.
Here's what I found out about golf. I decided, I forgot why. I was in the Army at the time. I think some of the guys that were in my unit went to play at Stryker.
They play a lot on Fridays in the Army.
Yeah, it was a big thing. And like some of these guys that I would never expect to play golf, like these hillbillies from Missouri, and they're like, you know, so I went and I got a good deal on some golf clubs, and I started, you know, watching the Golf Channel and going to the, you know, the what do you call it, the driving range. You know, YouTube wasn't a thing then, but you could go on and you could read, you know, watch Golf TV, get the magazine. Yeah. So I did.
God, you remember those days?
Yeah, I know, right?
You actually had to be like practice stuff and
you couldn't just go if you wanted to do something right away. Unless somebody like you had your stepdad, if he was a good golfer and you showed interest, you would have got into it. You would have been good. But what I figured out about golf before I got into it and got to where I could say if I was even able to play a whole round, I realized that it was one of those things that you never, ever master. You never master it. Like, even Tiger Woods hasn't mastered it. Like, you get so good and you can go out and you can shoot under 80, which I learned today is good. You know, I don't know what it means.
Less strokes, I know that.
And then you could go out, like you could go under 80 3 days in a row and then go out 2 days later and be over 90 type of thing. Like, you can just fuck up. You know what I mean? It's such precision. Like, that golf swing, it ain't no Happy Gilmore. Let's just eyeball the ball. Like, it's not even like the size of you. It's just timing.
Golf is also a big status sport. Like, if you're in the Army and you're an officer, a professional officer, like a colonel, you go play golf with your high command buddies on the weekends. That's what you do. If you're a businessman, you go out and do deals over golf.
Oh yeah, no, a lot. I guess my grandfather was a golfer, and he used to tell me that more business is done on the golf course.
Yeah, and a lot of shady shit is done on the golf course.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I didn't quit trying to play because it was hard. I just combined with that, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, like, I don't find anything.
Driving around on the golf court, hole to hole, waiting in line, hit it. I'm not saying that it's a stupid game or it's a hard fucking game.
Yeah,
and it takes a lot of like patience and it takes a lot of fucking practice. I just don't like it. I'm allowed to not like stuff.
Yeah. I used to talk shit about golf, man. Like all my buddies who I surf
still
with.
do, yeah.
Like, bro, you need to come golfing, bro. I'm like, because Hawaii has some nice golf courses, man.
Yeah.
And when we were there, we had access to them because, you know, there's a lot of military.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean? What the
fuck
is that
I know
word?
What you're talking about.
Incentive.
Yeah.
And you can like get into cheap or whatever, and there's some beautiful, like some of the most world's pristine golf courses in Hawaii. But my buddies will be like, "Let's go golf." I was like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm going surfing, man." Because to me, golf was for people that couldn't surf.
I don't know. Kelly Slater's a fucking good golfer.
Now they're getting into it.
They're getting into it now.
Who's that guy? Shout out to that dude. I love that guy's content. You ever watch the guy, John? What the fuck's his name? He's the kook of the day guy.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
And he does satire about just society. And it's funny because he'll get on there and like he'll get super serious and satirical, and people will actually think he's really. For instance, he did one the other day where he had this show. He's like, "Man, it's so hard being an influencer. I'm sitting here at this pool on this tropical resort and I just can't take it anymore. I don't want to." He's like, "It's so hard just to come up with bullshit content and not really have a job." And like some people are actually on there commenting like, "Keep your head up, brother." It does get hard. I can relate because this guy, and I'm like, do what everybody fucking else does. Drugs next, I was just being an asshole. But the guy got on there and he's like, "That was lame." I'm like, so is bitching about how hard your life is as a fucking social media influencer. Yeah. But
hey, man, if you a full-time social media influencer, that is a lot of work, bro.
This guy, he got some good gigs. Well, first of all, he used to do the Kook of the Day report. He would troll the World Surf League. It's hilarious. He would go out there live on Facebook and like just be talking shit the whole time at like the Masters and stuff.
Yeah.
And he got picked up by Bug Assault. He's in one of their commercials. And he's just an older dude. He's a little older than us. He's a career firefighter that surfed his whole life down.
So he just kind of got. That's what I'm saying. I hope he's doing very well.
Yeah.
And it probably started as just like something like we're doing now. It was fun to go out and do that. And if someone's got a creative brain, even that's an outlet to be creative, and they do it because they just want to do it. Right. And then it finds its niche somewhere. And there's a million people fucking doing it, and there's only, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's a low percentage of who actually hits it and is able to make a living.
Martin has
a good living.
I'm glad our buddy that we met, who's like the longboard god of rights.
You're talking to me here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the audience too.
I know, but we're not.
I'm talking to them too. They're our audience.
They're observing us in the long form conversation.
Okay, if you say so. But,
that's the format anyway.
Yeah. So you're right. This isn't a talk show.
Yeah.
This is fucking.
So next up.
And today, hey Harold, look at that. Haha. Anyways,
man, I'm fucking high, bro. Am I fucking stuttering at all?
No, not at all.
Am I twitching? Because I feel like every 10 seconds I go.
Isn't it funny how you feel like you're doing stuff but you're not?
Yeah, man.
But
like I don't even know if this is gonna make it on the fucking airwaves. I have to go back and watch it sober.
Nah, dude, it's fine. Just roll with it.
No, you know what? I have to watch it sober because if I watch it stoned, I'll be like so critical of everything.
Just fucking let it flow, man. But that's why people like us, dude. Because we just say whatever.
I tell you what, we're doing pretty good. Let me just, if anybody is even still watching, a big thank you to everybody.
Wait, are we live?
No.
Oh,
but they do watch. There's guys out there that like. We got 50 subscribers now on YouTube.
Yep. We're almost at 100 on
TikTok,
Facebook.
We're like 450. Facebook is 100. 20. The podcast got downloaded 20 times in the last 3 days.
Nice.
Every time that I check the analytics, we go up.
Great.
So
thank you out there.
While people are fucking like, oh, you could laugh and say you only got 50 subscribers. Well, we're going up. After this week, we'll have 55, 60, and it'll keep going up. And I believe those are YouTube will show you who watches, not who watches specifically, but if a person watches it and then comes back and picks up where they left off, type of thing. All right, so you get that returning.
Oh, that's cool.
flow. So just because, you know, if the same person goes and watches the video 8 times, it doesn't give you 8 views.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all
so
off
it's a
of,
smart system.
Yeah,
so
it's off of
we go up. So there's one dude out there that I want to shout out. His name is Joe Cali, and I've never even met this guy. I've known him for about 3-4 years on Facebook.
Oh.
When I did the cigar channel, he's from there. He actually gave me I used the title Cigar Sherpa. I actually got that from him. Like he called me that like as a joke, and then I don't know. It's good. So shout out Joe and everybody else. That's
my family too, man. My sister, my sister and nephew watch it every night.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
And also tomorrow's my sister's birthday.
How
Cinco
old,
de Mayo.
How old is the nephew?
17.
Oh, okay. So we don't. I was gonna say, man, are we talking too dirty or?
No, man, not at all. I'm his uncle.
What did your family think about your freaking dong?
I warned them last night because they got to that episode last night, and I talked to my sister before as she was watching. She'll send me a picture of like. From her room of them watching together on the screen.
That's awesome.
And they watch every night, so they're bonding over. But
what are their names?
Erica and Aiden.
Erica and
Aiden. Erica's
Aiden.
My sister and Aiden. Yeah, dude.
Thanks for watching.
Aiden, that's like Tater.
Yeah,
man.
I know Aiden. I know he's active on the Instagram.
Yeah. And he shares us, but it's just funny because I did warn them. I'm like, hey guys, just let you know, you might hear something that you might not want to hear. It's about my wiener. But no, it's all good, dude. Like,
oh shit,
it's funny, but Martin, dude. So Martin is our buddy who longboards out here, and the dude's like, I call him the longboard Viking because the first thing I noticed when I saw this dude in the lineup, it was like a beautiful morning. The sun was just cresting the waves. Mm-hmm. You had that green, vibrance, and I just see this fucking beard.
All you see is the silhouette of the surfer.
Of a beard. I see a surfer, but then I just see this massive beard, and it's like flowing majestically. Yeah. And he just catches a wave, and he's down in it, and just golden, and he's illuminated. But yeah, our buddy Martin, man. So he's almost like
a monk.
He is, dude. He's been super cool, and he's got me fucking stoked on longboarding. Yeah. I know he's got you on it, but...
Yeah, well, thanks, Martin. I've been telling this motherfucker about longboards for months, and Martin comes along because because he surfs better than me. You listen to him.
No, it wasn't because Martin surfs, but Martin, he explained shit. Yeah. He explained stuff to me that I never thought about before. Like, when it comes to longboarding, it's not about, like, getting every wave and... doing crazy shit. It's about like flowing with the wave, and it's a freaking dance. It really is, and as corny as that sounds,
it's like a ballet.
People make fun of that shit because you go to the fucking Kook of the Day, and like there's a WSL fucking satire page that makes fun of the WSL, which is actually pretty funny. But they do make fun of longboarders a lot. Yeah, it is. It's a dance, man. And
if I was a shortboarder, if that was my thing, if I was into doing that, I would make fun of longboarders. Right. But I would not in a actual. I think that I'm cooler than you, even though I am cooler than you. But in a fucking, like I do with the Marine Corps. Yeah. Or the Navy. Yeah. Mikey's in the fucking, I don't know if his name's Mikey, but Mike was in the Navy. So,
our other surf buddy.
What I say in the group text the other day, I said, I wanted to join the Navy. And then I realized that I like female vagina.
What did he say?
But I don't mean that like, oh, I think I'm better than you because I was in the Army. No, it's that's the way I.
There's
would
always
take
the
it,
jokes.
so.
The Air Force is a bunch of the nerds who are too smart. The Marines are just rock eaters and crayon eaters. The Armies, we're not that great, but then the Navy's the gay ones. There's always that joke.
You know what? I look at the difference between shortboarding and longboarding is like if you took like a Harley Davidson motorcycle rider and like a fucking off-road, the guys that jump the fucking, what do they call that? Motocross. They fucking jump high and they do all that. Or maybe the difference between a crotch rocket and a Harley rider. Yeah. Like a Harley rider is just in it for the ride. Right. He wants that low-end torque so he can feel that belt drive or chain system in his ass, fucking when he hits it and you feel that torque. They like a little fucking low rumble, and a street fucking biker wants to fucking go 200 miles an hour and do turns, and it's just they're both motorcyclists and they both love motorcycling, but they're just two extremes, and each one thinks but it's the Harley rider really can't turn around, just like the longboard rider can't turn around and totally shit on fast bikes and fast boards because faster is cooler. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you just ignore it.
Longboarding is difficult if you want to get good at it and actually do cool stuff on a longboard. Yeah. Now, if you just want to get on a board and ride, longboarding is way easier.
Yeah, if you just want to ride waves. Yeah.
So that's why I see why there's a little bit of lack of respect there. Now, the reason I told you time and time again is the reason I like shortboards is because it makes me it keeps me in shape better. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I was out there paddling my ass off the other day, like hauling ass on that longboard. Like I was cruising, man, just paddling.
On the BBC?
On the BBC,
That thing gets moving, don't it?
Oh, I got to tell you what happened.
I love that board.
Oh, my God, because you guys were talking about the wind on Sunday. So the wind, out of nowhere, this is hilarious. It hit like 35 miles an hour. That day I went out back for an hour by myself.
Yeah.
So I'm out there on the left side of Crystal Pier, and I go to take this wave, and the waves actually got good. It was just so damn windy.
Yeah.
And I caught the wave, and as I'm on the wave, I go to turn, and that wind picked up, and I hovered backwards.
Yeah.
I got completely airborne on that board, and I went like this, and I dumped, and I laughed my ass off. But it was funny because I've never been airborne on a surfboard like that, where I was hovering.
Yeah.
And this guy and his girlfriend showed up, and I got out because I was like, man, this is too windy, and I went down on the other side of the pier, and actually had some fun over there. I caught some pretty cool bombs on that longboard, man. Yeah. It was really dope. I got a compliment from doing the lineup. He's like, I thought he was being a smart ass.
Yeah.
Because that's just me.
Right.
And that's another thing I was going to mention. Martin has me, you as well, especially you, having a positive mind frame, no matter what, is very important because you do attract what you put out.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that when I do shit like that, like, yeah, you said you just attract negativity, man. So that's been my thing my whole life. You know, so I have been trying to force myself to be positive and to think positively. Yeah. And I checked myself the other day in the lineup, and that's what I did. Because normally when a dude will come over to me and start talking to me, I think he's being a smart ass.
Yeah. Hey, I've told you that.
Now, 8 out of 10 times that has been the case.
Yeah.
However, this guy was being genuine. He's like, he came up to me. He's like, hey, man, what you doing out here? Like, and I was like, okay. And, you know, he's like, no, man, do you surf out here a lot? I was like, actually, yeah, you know, I come out here quite a bit. He's like, oh, I'm just learning. And he looked like he knew what he was doing. You know, he had one of those like dirty head haircuts and like the freaking mustache goatee, you know, and like, and I was like, oh, you are? He's like, yeah, I just started surfing during COVID. And that's something like people will say to be a smart ass, kind of like, oh, did you just pick? Like, I think it's, some people be passive aggressive. Like, oh, you must have just started surfing because of COVID.
Who are these fucking people that have this much time to dedicate to their pessimism?
There's a lot.
Like, I would never think to tell somebody that I just met, that I'm being polite with, that, oh, I just started surfing 2 weeks ago, or I just started surfing during COVID, when I have in fact been surfing for 20 years. Why would I do that? I don't know you types of people. I don't run into you people. I would never. I'm a smart ass. Yeah. But that's like being a dick.
Well, there are people like that out there. Like that guy that came to Nick and I that morning and was like, oh, must be the only wave on the entire island this morning, huh?
Yeah.
And like a super joyful.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Yeah, but if I can look, if you and Nick were out on that wave and I paddled out there because it was the only wave, I would say
he was out there to the right, and we came out, and then he came up to us and was like, "Come!" He was like being very loud, like, "Oh, must be the only wave on the island this morning, huh? On the entire island."
Well, I'm saying I might say something to you because that's why we're all three right there, because it's the wave. So I'll be like, "Hey, it's the only wave." But you know what I mean?
I should have said this.
So it's kind of like "What's up?" That can be taken. Those two words can be taken differently.
Yes.
If I say "What's up?" somebody might say, "Hey, man, what's up?" Or somebody might say, "What's up? What's up, mother?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I guess it depends on your state of mind as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you say "What's up?" to someone,
I think you need to smoke more pot. Maybe
I need to do something. I need to just be more positive.
Because you make me think that sometimes when I think back,
do I fuck your head up?
No. When I think back on interactions I've had, I start thinking, wait a minute. Was that guy being I didn't seem like he was being a dick. Now, like I got along with the guy. We had a pretty good conversation. But then my vibe is that me and him just got along. And if I see him again, he's friendly. You know what I mean? But when I talk to you months later and then I think back on that, I think, was he being a fucking douchebag and I'm just an idiot?
Different with surfing. A lot of these dudes will be like, they'll talk shit like passive aggressively like that. Like, oh, hey, you must have been surfing a long time.
Here's another thing too.
Yeah.
If I sensed that, if I walked up to a guy in a parking lot and I'm being genuine, because when I'm surfing, I'm just fucking happy as fuck. I'm not.
You should be.
There's nothing that I don't want to get in a fight. I don't want to be pissed. If the parking lot's crowded or the beach is crowded, I'm not even upset about it, where I would be if I wasn't surfing. If I walked up to you in a parking lot and I said, hey, it's a nice day, and you said something to the effect of what you were talking about in that tone, passive aggressive, we're fucking probably going to fight. Because if you've got the balls enough to fucking totally fuck you, a grown man that you don't know, then yeah, you know what I mean? Because if another grown man hears that, I'm not going to be like, oh, that guy's a dick. Let me go to my car and never talk to him again. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah. That's a
but
problem.
At the same time, I don't want to be super fucking hyper vigilant now based on your look on the world. When the next time I meet a guy and he says, yeah, it's a great day, I'm like, the fuck you mean it's a great day?
What kind of a goddamn day is it?
Yeah.
No,
man,
don't be like that, man. I didn't mean to rub off that way.
No, I won't. I'm joking. That was a joke. But I really do think sometimes that from my perspective, I'm not you, okay? So I can't tell you, but I just feel like a lot of the times when you think somebody's being passive aggressive, they're not.
Okay.
That's in your head. You know what I mean? And so maybe you should take a chance and do a social experiment. The next time you think someone's being passive aggressive, just be like, they're not, and then engage in the conversation.
Okay.
And then if you walk away from that and you still feel like he was being a dick, or maybe he really would, then I'm wrong. But either I'm really fucking dumb, or you're very, I don't know what the word is, and I don't want to say it the wrong way. Somebody that thinks that somebody's always out to get them.
Yeah.
Paranoid.
Pessimistic?
Well, pessimistic is something like,
a good word.
Yeah, paranoid. Like,
yeah.
That's because you're paranoid that you're thinking the person is disrespecting you somehow.
Yeah.
Okay? And so when you feel like someone's disrespecting you, how does that make you feel inside?
How does it make
you feel inside when someone disrespects you?
Oh, I get angry.
You get angry.
Yeah.
And so if you don't act out.
But I don't.
If you don't fucking punch his face or you don't get in a fight, you swallow that. And then maybe subconsciously or consciously, it bothers you. Like, why didn't I punch that much? That's happened to me before.
Here's a good example. It's just, I think, it has to do a lot with this generation, how they are to each other, because they are passive aggressive to each other. They're smart asses to each other. Here, this is what happened to Sheila. Let me tell you what happened to my wife. So a couple summers ago, we went and we were getting ready to wash off. It was late, it was at Crystal Pier at the shower, and Sheila waited her turn. She waited there for a good 20 minutes, to rinse off. Yeah. And she's over there and there's nobody around. So my wife, she doesn't seem to understand that a beach shower is not for like taking a full shower, but a lot of people do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just how people are. Some people want to wash all the stuff off there. Mm-hmm. So she had some soap and, she's soaping up and rinsing off. And there's like some little fucking white fucking privileged teenagers there that walked up, and like the guy was like, to his buddy, he's all, oh, can you go get my Irish Spring, bro? Like in front of my wife. Like,
oh, shit, yeah.
And he said that shit to her, but he didn't
why?
realize. Because they're fucking just dicks, man.
Yeah,
there's,
was he a kid?
16, 17
probably.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
But there's a lot
Not that excuses it.
I hate to say it, but what you're talking about earlier, just that arrogance and that privileged fucking attitude, there's a lot of that out there. Yeah. And that's what I meant.
But I don't hang with those types of people.
No.
I said in one of the podcasts when I was talking to a buddy of mine I was in the Army with, this black guy, I was like, look, bro, me and you're black. He's from Chicago, and I said, I'm white. I'm from North Carolina. I said, but me and you've got more in common than I have with what you think of when you think of white people, and you think of the fraternity, the private school, the rich parents, you know what I mean? The guy that gets a brand new fucking SL500 when he's 16 because his parents want to be the hippest people at the country club. Mm-hmm. I don't hang out with those types of people. I know a few, but they're like the dirt bags from there. They're like the drug addicts and shit. Yeah. But I don't know them. I don't hang out with them. So I don't know, man. Like, yeah, that's weird. That's fucking a kid, even a kid doing that to a grown ass person.
Exactly.
Like, why? But that's a kid, so I've done some shit when I was a kid that I'll tell you what, one day I fucking threw a goddamn snowball at a fucking like old ass lady in a snowstorm.
Oh man.
And this was in Brooklyn. Oh. And she was pushing her fucking cart down the street in a snowstorm. In New York City, you see a lot of people don't have cars. They walk, and the old ladies have their little grocery buggy. And we were having a fucking snowball war because it was snowed. This was like 1991, 92. And I don't know what made me do it. I fucking saw her. It was like a block over. I hurled it. I didn't think I was going to hit her, and it hit her on the butt. Oh. But it was a soft ball. Yeah. And this fucking car stopped, and this Guido motherfucker got out of the goddamn car, and I went up underneath the neighbors because, it's hard to explain if you don't know the city. Cars are parked outside, and they have little driveways. Well, I got under a fucking car, and he was like a big fucking like Italian Guido motherfucker, and he's like, I'll kick your fucking ass. If that was my grandmother, you'd be dead. And I'm scared shitless.
Well, nobody does that anymore.
But when he fucking left, I was so ashamed of myself. Like, I knew he was right. Yeah. I knew that he did what a fucking man is supposed to do. So was I a bad kid? I made a fucking stupid snap decision, you know what I mean? And then I learned right from it.
Yeah.
So I think what happens with these kids is they do stupid shit, but there ain't no lessons being taught. So
there's
they
no
just fucking
accountability
keep doing
for
it.
what they do, man. And nobody checks them anymore.
Yeah.
Like people think they can just fucking run their mouths.
And what are you gonna do? You can't go up and beat the shit out of a
you
16-year-old because you will go to jail.
Yeah. You can't even like. That's the thing. You can't even correct them because as soon as you correct them, they get on the fucking phone and they're like, "Look at this racist." Weird fucking weird. Look at this weird.
I don't know if you're gonna
look at this boomer over here bullying these kids, and then they're on fucking. You're on social media, and there's 1,000 people saying, "Oh, look at this fucking fucker has nothing better to do than pick on kids."
I see stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't always believe it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of it's staged. Like the people go into the situation, they piss you off.
They do it on purpose,
just so they can film you. Yeah. But something in interaction. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. I've thought about that. I don't know how I would handle that because to be the bigger man, you just need to ignore them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
it's like those kids with
that's
my wife.
so hard to do because somebody that is that I don't know. They really need to be dealt with. Like I don't know if I could. Like I'll take that fucking phone away from you, and I'll stick it up your fucking ass. That's my mindset. Like I'll smash that phone. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And being antagonized like that, I should be in the right. There should not be. I can walk up to you. This is not freedom of speech or expression. I cannot go up to you and antagonize you. I didn't say threaten you, antagonize you, and put a fucking camera in your face and taunt you. If you were to inflict physical violence on a person like that, there should be no fucking police arresting you because what they're doing. And that's where I don't like this country anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's the norm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like getting your ass kicked used to be like, hey, if you don't like to get your ass kicked and you can't fight, maybe you should avoid fighting and maybe become a comedian. You know what I mean? Or just be nice and likable so nobody wants to fucking, you know.
Yeah.
Or you handle your business once or twice and you either everybody knows that you're going to fight back so they fucking respect it. Yep. Or you beat the fuck out of the right people and then everybody thinks, hey, I want to be friends with him. You know what I'm saying? That's the way life is. And now that it's not like that anymore, I don't like it here. And that's why I'm getting the fuck out, bro.
It's not. It's weird because like my son just got suspended. He told you about that for disrespecting the teacher.
Yeah. What did he say to her?
So what the teacher told me was they got into a marker fight. They were splashing markers, him and some girl in the class. And when the teacher asked him why did he do that, he was like, I don't know, like disrespectful. Which that's another thing too. When the fuck did like not respecting anybody at all and just talking to people however the fuck you want become a thing? Because that's not cool. And the kids aren't afraid.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They're not afraid anymore.
Because I watch, of course, just because I watch a few videos on YouTube or TikTok doesn't mean that that's the norm, but I watch these videos of these kids disrespecting the teachers. Dude. And the teachers are like, there's nothing they can do about it.
Well, they can't do anything because if you do
anything physical, then all of a sudden you've assaulted a kid, you know. So this is what I say to them. Don't be a fucking teacher.
Yeah.
Don't be a fucking teacher.
But then who's going to teach the kids anything?
Fuck them. Fuck them. Our education system.
Yeah.
That's why I was telling you, and that I won't apologize for. And no, sometimes it can be offensive because I have my own views and how I live my life, and you live your life. And sometimes the way you live your life, it contradicts my views. That doesn't mean that you have to do what I do.
Right.
But when you start talking, when a man voices a problem, typically he is opening the door for either criticism or advice.
Yes.
You know, when a woman does that, that's why men get in trouble all the time because their wives complain and then about their boss being a bitch, and you try to correct it and you try to say, well, why don't you try getting up a little 10 minutes earlier so you're not late every fucking day? You know, that right there, you're not supportive. So the next time your wife is complaining, you just say, yeah, and just let them talk and listen. Yeah. Men, we do it. If I say, God damn, man, I don't know what the fuck is going on with my fucking flux capacitor in the fucking serve fan. I can't get it to work or whatever it is. I'm saying that out loud because I need and I want help or I want advice or criticism.
Yeah.
So when you said that about the school system, I said, well, look, the school system, and you've complained about the school system before, but you send your kids to fucking public school.
Yeah.
And I say, you know, if you cannot complain about public school, matter of fact, if you send your kids to public school, then your ass should fucking be the public school's biggest supporters.
That's right. Yeah.
But if you're complaining about the public school system and you're sending your kids there, that's like fucking moronic.
I think
it's like what do you want to do? It's like you want. I'm not saying you, but people that complain about the public school system, but they send their kids there. They've always got an excuse.
Yeah.
I don't have time, or I this or that. Blah, blah. So what you're saying is that your kids' welfare is secondary. You fucking find the fucking time. It's doable. You don't have to sit them down for 8 hours a day, 4 hours a day. They could do math from 8 to 9 and then go surfing and come back. You can do it however you want as long as they pass those tests and they're doing the curriculum. But so it's like people in America, they want their kids to go to public school because it's a place they can stick their kids for 8 hours, and they want the state to raise those kids, but then they want to complain about it. If your kids are, I'll say that, if your kids are in public school, then you should be the biggest fucking proponent of how good the system is. If not, get your fucking kid out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know, and all of my kids went through, I've raised 5 kids, but I have 3 of my own. So, but all of them are public school raised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Products in public school.
John, I was complaining about the school system, about the shit that they were teaching and the shit they weren't teaching. And
did you notice a change in him when he was at public school, like attitude wise and
personality
personality-wise?
I did. Well, he was in elementary school.
Okay.
He was only in middle school for like a month, and then I pulled him out.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice a change. I knew the change. Like I didn't notice him changing at all. But I just got tired of being that person. I realized one day if I'm going to send my kids to public school and I am not a proponent of public school, then I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of being the person like, I want to get the fuck out. I want to get the fuck out. I've been saying I want to move to South America for about 1.5 years, 2 years. And then that 6 weeks, when I moved to Texas, that was all kind of like going to Texas was like land there for a couple of months to a year, and then ultimately it was Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So I was exfilling to Texas when I went. So I put him in public school, and I'm telling you right now, I mean, I took him out of public school and I put him in homeschool, and it's not that fucking hard. I just think that a lot of parents don't do it because they don't want to be parents. Like, you don't want to be. I don't think any parent wants to be the drill sergeant to their kid all the time. Sometimes you want there to be some like relaxed, chill time. But if you got a good kid, a kid that responds to that, you can enjoy. But if you got a kid that needs constant correcting, you got to constantly correct them. I'm sorry. It's not fucking society's job.
Not. But
and every kid's different. I've got one. I'm not, what I'm saying? He's a good kid. He's a smart kid. Normally people compliment how he acts when I'm not around, but when I'm around, and sometimes it's not bad, it's not disrespectful, it's just the way we snap, and it's and he thinks that he can, I constantly got to remind him, you can't say that to an adult.
Yeah,
you can't say that to an adult. I know in your brain it's funny, and it is funny, props, you know what I mean, but you can't say that to an adult. You're 12 years old,
right?
Just like I don't like my kids cursing around me, and I'm an adult. My fucking oldest daughter came back from basic training and she was F. And I'm like, yo, your grandparents are right. Like, I don't play that shit. I'll let a little bit go, shit here. But if one of my kids is like, man, these motherfuckers and fucking be like, yo, don't fucking talk like that around. You better put some fucking respect on my goddamn name. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's just,
take your kid out of fucking public school and quit fucking around. Put him in the Surf Haven Institute of Technology.
The shit.
We're the shit.
Dude, I mean, I agree because I've noticed a change in my kid. We did homeschool for like the first 2 years of their school age lives. And
so that's when it's hard. Yeah, now it's easy because you got teenagers and preteen.
Yeah. I don't know. I know some homeschool kids who are kind of very awkward.
Who?
I don't want to mention names on here.
Oh, okay. So you actually know some awkward homeschool kids?
Very socially awkward. We're talking like...
Well, who cares? What is social now?
But here's the thing.
But wait a minute. Gauge that based on your experience today. What's the social interaction? There is none. It's all online.
I guess you're right, but...
I don't know. Your kids play outside. I do see them outside when I go there.
They do. And here's something that bothers me, though, about, school is worse now than it ever was. I mean, kids didn't have cell phones in their hands going on the internet, getting access to all this adult shit. 24/7.
People always go, I want to stop.
Media.
I know it's media, and you're right.
Yeah.
But we can't keep complaining about how good it was back when we had to walk uphill both ways to go to school. The cell phones are a part. We are fucking androids. We're cyborgs. And guess what? Apple, and I'm excited about it. Apple's coming out with the fucking glasses finally. The fucking Google, Google tried to do it, but they didn't do it very good. And they put things in like virtual reality, and I'm excited about it. So even if I wasn't, it's happening. So if you raised your children, no video games, no Xbox, none of that, because how good
I don't mind.
They're gonna fucking grow up, and they're going to how are they gonna fit in anywhere work wise? Because everything is done. You can't even go into a gas station nowadays. You got to be able to work a smartphone.
Yeah.
They've made it that way. That's the system you live in. So again, if you're going to sit here and you're going to complain about how good it used to be and how bad it is and how bad it's getting, what do you think is going to change for the better?
It's not.
So get change your circumstance.
Yeah, but that's temporarily escaping it.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because my fucking family escaped fascism in the fucking 1920s.
Yeah, true.
They were living in Italy for generations, and then the fascists took over, and they didn't fucking like it. So they hopped on a fucking boat with 2 nickels. I'm sure they probably had about $10, which was a lot of money back then.
Right.
And they fucking took a 3-month ride to Ellis Island, New York City, and fucking got out. My fucking great-grandfather didn't speak no fucking English. They changed his fucking last name. Mm-hmm. They were the Italians at the time during that wave. They were not exactly, America is not good at welcoming new people.
Yeah.
They eventually get the fuck over it, but white people in America, and I mean like the Europeans, because it's a brand new country, they weren't really welcome. They were put in one part of town, but he fucking learned how to speak English. I think he drove a cab for a while, and then he joined the fucking Army or the Navy. Yeah, he was in the Navy. So he didn't temporarily escape anything, because 6 generations of his lineage is here and making it. It's just, we thought it was going to last longer, So if he can escape Italy to come here, well, it's not good here, and it's only getting worse,
I saw a video today that was pretty disturbing, just because there's a lot of people like this that are so detached because of the fucking internet and the culture online.
Yeah.
This girl, she was not, if she had been as drunk as she was trying to play off, there's no way she would have been, she was coherent talking. She had one of those voices like an internet girl.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, hey,
yeah,
like, can I go to school on Tuesday? That's all she was concerned about. She killed 2 fucking people, man. There was not an ounce of remorse. She was acting like it was all a joke. And that's how a lot of people are these days. Everything's a fucking meme.
What does that got to do with the internet and technology?
That's where it's like...
Well, I mean, shit like that's been going on. Even before the fucking internet. We just didn't hear about it because all the news was local.
Man. It's the fucking norm.
I just think, I think Pappas...
Everything's a fucking meme.
Said it when he was here. We just got a lot of people, and everybody's plugged in.
But everything's a fucking meme now. Like, life is a meme.
Okay.
That's how people are.
Okay.
They don't take shit seriously.
Okay.
They're so fucking out of touch, and so just nothing is serious.
I know, but what the fuck are you going to do about it?
I don't know. And that's
you can't. There's nothing. You can't do nothing about it. But like I keep saying, I'm telling these people that think that fucking Trump's going to come back in 2024 and save the day. I'm gonna tell you, I got news for you, and I'm not a fucking fortune teller.
There's
I just
no
kind of read between. I don't believe that he is going to be the next president. I think he will get the most votes, and I think he will win the election again. And they're not going to let him be the president. This is not the country you think it is. You think this country is a duly elected. When you elect congressmen and senators and our government and the judicial and the executive and the legislative, and all they work together for your interest, and that you control it, and that you can control it based on lobbying or being an activist to fucking change laws.
Can't.
It's not the case. It could be that way, but the problem is we're a fucking free market capital, and I am not a communist. Okay, I'm only giving you one side. I'm a capitalist. Okay, but right now I'm going to sound like I'm not, because it just is what it is. Business, okay? If me and you are in the donut business, and I have a fucking place in Wrightsville Beach, and you have a place in Fayetteville, and we're both friends, okay? business-wise, I still want your business. If I can knock you out of business, if I can outmarket you, if I can get people not to come to your store and buy donuts, but to come to my store and buy, that's what I'm going to do because that's what I have to do. And that way, if I work harder, I'll make the money, but you have to suffer in the fucking short run, or you've got to keep up. And if you can't keep pace, you fall off. When you have that, you've got big fucking industry in America, like billions and billions of dollars. If there's only 10 billionaires in America, do you think they all know each other?
Of course.
Do you think they all
probably all know each other anyhow?
Yeah, so they already can like manipulate the fucking market, like sugar. You know, like if sugar could just, heart disease was getting to be a big thing in America in the fucking 50s. We were eating better, shopping more, so we had cholesterol leading to heart disease. Fast foods. Well, sugar fucking knew. Sugar, I say sugar, I mean the people that run the billion-dollar sugar industry of America.
Back in history, that was the big imperialism was
right.
C&H and...
So if I'm the owner of fucking Domino Sugar and I'm a billionaire, I need you, who's the fucking governor or my senator or some, government official. I need you to stop this fucking bullshit about sugar causing heart disease. It's not. It's the fucking butter, man. It's the fucking butter. It's the animal fats, frying shit in lard. You know why that's beneficial? Because Domino, we also own a vegetable seed oil company. Yeah. It's cheaper and we can put it in everybody's fucking, this is capitalism at work. Yeah. How can I get, and I'll give you another one. So anyway, I can then go hire my own science, and those fucking scientists actually fucking said that sugar was not bad for you when glucose causes every ailment, like fucking mucus. So that's America, and that's just what's going to happen, and that's what the guy has to do. Now, what you want him to do is be a fair man and say, well, I guess our time of selling sugar is just going to have to go away because it's bad for you. Let me fucking transition into the butter business because butter is good for you. What are you going to do? I
don't know, man.
And what's the alternative? Communism? Sounds good on paper.
There's no alternative anymore.
So you can either play the fucking game.
Yeah.
Okay. You can get out there and you can try to become one of those millionaires. Okay. You might have a good life trying. You might be a millionaire. You might be $100,000 a year guy. But you have to tune out of the rest of the shit.
Yeah, but it starts with,
They want you to believe that, okay, just wait 4 more years. 4 years. I hear people all the time, 2024. Motherfucker, they stole that election right in front of me. And I didn't vote last time. So people are like, oh, I didn't vote. I just watched it. And I was rooting for Trump because I owned a business. But I didn't vote. I stopped voting a long time ago because it didn't do any good. Yeah. When Trump fucking, all that shit happened with the 2022 election, and then the fucking lockdowns. Like, they took your fucking election from you, okay? They put a mask on your face. They shut down your business. They told you to stay inside, and there was actually penalties. You ain't gonna do a fucking thing to them. They have got you. So much so that you're wearing a fucking mask in Walmart that says, "Don't tread on me." Trump 24. They want you to have the hope.
This emoji always pops up.
And they will never let Donald Trump be the president because those billionaires that own Domino and buying the science, and now it's like fucking a big pharma. And, it's war. And military-industrial complex has been big since the 60s, the 50s, or since after World War II. So war, where are we at? We're on the verge of fucking World War fucking 3 right now, and that's probably going to happen. So they're going to make a shit ton of money. Oil funds the whole fucking or fuels the whole operation, so they're good.
Oil secures and plays the contract.
And they can keep these fucking morons in this country believing them. Like, even now, most people will admit that COVID was bullshit. But they don't want to say anything because they always fall back on the same thing. They say, I ain't no doctor. I ain't no scientist. And do you have a degree in that shit? Like, motherfucker, I don't need it. I can read. I can read the data. So, I mean, so that's why I say you need to fucking start thinking about changing your goddamn circumstance because this shit's going to drive you crazy, bro.
It's hard being a person that has like basic intelligence in this time and age.
Yeah.
It really is, because no, I'm no genius, but I have a mind that can think like, I can think logically.
Yeah. And
shit like that video of that girl she was drunk and she hit someone. She knew she killed them, and just how she's acting. Because a lot of people act like that. A lot do.
Well, Ted Bundy acted like he wasn't too, you know.
She could be a psycho killer, but.
Or who was the guy with the fucking Richard Ramirez?
Oh,
the murderer. He acted like he didn't give a fuck. I mean, so that was before the internet.
But, you know, the internet has taught people that they can pull these they can be fucking, what's the word? They can, God, my vocabulary sucks today.
You want to know what my high brain keeps going back to? Is the fact that you keep talking about these people, you can't believe how they, you know, that she has no remorse because she killed some people and blah, you know. That's what you're talking about. If you were to talk about the teenagers that punched that 80-year-old lady in the face in New Jersey, that would piss you off. That's bad. Yeah. How come fucking sending thousands, hundreds of thousands of people into a fucking conflict where they're dying a war based on a fucking lie? We know that Saddam Hussein did not have weapons of mass destruction. We know now, there's been enough time and enough leaks, enough books written to know that nobody supported that fucking notion, and that Colin Powell fucking eventually left that whole organization because they made him go out there and fucking lie. Thousands of people, maybe 1 million people. Forget about the Americans. What about the Iraqis? What about the fucking Afghanis? What about all of that? Like, you know how fucking, that is like mass scale. What about the Gaddafi? You know, what? Not just Gaddafi, but Libya. Look at fucking Syria. Look at Yemen, the people that we killed there.
It's a world.
Do you know that we killed a fucking American citizen with a fucking drone and killed his son? An American citizen in Yemen. Yeah.
But do we like our country and where we exist?
Wait a minute, though. Go back to
Are you willing to go and live in the jungle right now with nothing? Are you willing to?
No.
All right.
You don't have to do that, though. Right. But wait a minute. I just said, what do you think is wrong about the U.S. government killing an American citizen with a drone?
Everything's wrong about that.
Like what? Okay, I'm losing my train of thought here because I'm trying. That's why I'm stalling you. In America, you are innocent of any crime until you are proven guilty. Right?
Supposedly.
You have to go to a fucking judge. You have to fucking go, and they have to have a trial where 12 fucking people of your peers will decide whether or not you're guilty or innocent. The government can't just decide you're fucking guilty, and that's what they did, but nobody knows about it. So that right there is an attack.
Yeah, but who's going to do anything about it? Nobody.
You're right, but this is what I'm saying. We're supposed to. So I see shit like that, and the fucking the dumbass, the sheep that fucking stabbed somebody in the face for $20, that don't sound half as bad because at least they have I can probably brew a fucking reason for their condition. It's because they were this as a kid. They grew up poor or whatever. Somebody could get in there and build. But these fucking spoiled ass fucking billionaires that kill millions of fucking people. Hell, fucking corn syrup. Corn syrup is illegal in like every fucking country except here. Why do we still consume it? Does one American not say, well, why the fuck's it illegal in Europe and South America and Mexico? Why is it illegal in Mexico? Why am I drinking it if it's illegal in every European country that I know of?
Yeah, because we're America.
So, you know.
Because, unfortunately, you know, the way things are is that bottle of fucking drink that has corn syrup and it's way fucking cheaper than that bottle of kombucha.
Yeah, but would it be, though, if that was illegal to sell fucking... I'm not saying make it illegal to sell soda. If you want to drink fucking corn syrup, by all means, drink it. The problem is, and this is what my high thought of last night was. In the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, during that time frame, there was a big push. Like, okay, so if I was a guy in 1935 and I said, look, man, let's bottle up all of our milk and ship it to stores and sell it at a store. Mm-hmm. It would cost us like $1 million to do all of this, but we'll make like $4 million and we can be partners and we can start like a business. And I bet you some guy said, why the fuck would anybody go to the store to buy milk when they can just go milk their fucking cow?
Well, now let's make it illegal to have cows.
Okay, so I'm saying it started with probably a group of people that did not invest in it and it was innovative, right? Putting milk in a jar and delivering it. So all innovation in America is always met with the naysayers. You know, think about all the people that didn't believe that Uber was going to work. And they missed out on that. You know, like, why the fuck are they going to do that? They can just call a cab. So it was meat. Why is anybody going to go to the store and buy pork chops when they can kill their own hog? Well, they slowly started trying to get Americans removed from relying on themselves. Mm-hmm. Nobody raises pigs anymore, where that used to be the norm. You know, nobody has chickens anymore, where that used to be the norm. More people have chickens nowadays because it's kind of trendy and it's cool and it's
becoming
easy.
A cool hipster artistic thing
but
now to do shit like that.
I had chickens and we had so many eggs I couldn't give them away. You know, I had like 22 at one time. But nobody kills their food. You know, why would anybody? We were around for the bottled water.
Yeah.
Why would anybody fucking go into the store and pay $1 for this or 50 cents for a plastic bottle of water when they can just walk right into the gas station bathroom and get it for free?
Yeah.
So I bet you the guy who fucking was trying to get Evian, which is the first bottled water company that I know of, was probably like going to all these pitches where he's pitching it to fucking investors and they're like, hey, I ain't fucking it. No one's going to buy bottled water. Fuck, man. Nobody drinks out of the tap anymore. You give somebody some tap water, they'll look at you like fucking, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Maybe that's our problem, though.
Well, that's consumerism. I mean, now you can get it in a bottle.
You know the whole thing about fluoride, and that's not a fucking conspiracy theory either.
Fluoride was invented by Nazi fucking scientists as a dumbing down agent to make people more susceptible to fucking propaganda. So the food industry, after they started slowly taking the American people's ability to rely on themselves and go to the store, they started putting out these food charts. It was all bullshit. Mm-hmm. Lard is good for you. Animal fat's good for you. Fat's good for you. Fucking sugar is bad for you. Corn syrup is fucking poisonous. Yep. Fluoride will fucking it builds up a fucking crust on your goddamn frontal lobe.
Which is your personality.
Yeah, so I don't use fluoride. You know what I stopped using too? Haven't used deodorant in a month.
Really?
You ain't smelled me, have you?
You don't stink, yeah.
I used one of those fucking crystals from Thailand.
Oh yeah.
That shit fucking works.
Philippines.
I think my first wife used it in the beginning, but I was like, nah, you got to wear this.
You know what trips me out hard, man?
Because they have aluminum in it.
You know what trips me out hard, dude? And this is happening all over the world too. It's like cultures that are, I don't know why. Cultures seem to think their shit's less. It's inferior to American and Western stuff. Like you go to Korea, and it's so cool to have American food. Yeah. Now the fast food is big over there, and now in the Philippines they're cooking like American junk food as like cool cuisine. And I've noticed like people are starting to get Korea. You know what a Korean
Filipinos
breakfast is?
Are fat people now.
Now
they used to not be.
No, and even in Korea, man, like Korea's in the good stage right now because like they don't have dairy in their diet. They're starting to incorporate it into their diet. Yeah. Cheese is really big. Mm-hmm. And it's starting to build the women in this, this is going to sound horrible, but fuck it. I'm going to send it.
Yeah, well, no, Asians are known for traditionally being flat-chested and no ass.
They have a term in Korea called S-line, which means S-line. So that's the preferable shape of a woman. And with the incorporation of like dairy, women are starting to get a little bit more built. Yeah. They're getting more body mass. Yeah.
And hormones. It's hormones.
I don't know why though, but that's not a good path to go on because you look at America and like you talked about this before. My grandma used to mention this as well. She used to get really pissed off about the price of organic food because everything was organic. Yeah. All right? Uh-huh. People didn't want the fucking organic shit. Nobody wanted to go and get the farmer's sack of vegetables.
No, they wanted the easy stuff.
No, they wanted the pretty packaged stuff in the supermarket.
I think it was more convenience, but maybe.
No, it was like a luxury. It was like you were making it. You weren't a fucking poor. Oh. If you could go to the supermarket and buy that nicely packaged apple. Okay. And now it's like you buy the organic vegetables and
I don't know, man. See, I think that
we're selling ourselves bullshit,
I just picked up a piece of your fucking personality. I won't call it a mistrait about being paranoid because I don't know that I've ever thought that anybody went to the grocery store and thought that they were better because their tomatoes were packaged. I think they just went to the grocery store because it was there 365 days out of the year and it was just convenient. They didn't have to grow it.
No. Miss my point on that one. This is a lady who grew up through the Great Depression, and like they lost everything. My great-grandfather killed himself. All right,
I got you. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
She talks about how society thought that was below them.
Gotcha. Okay. It's
like,
probably right. I just never. Yeah.
If you were a dirt farmer, you know, it's like,
oh, you got to grow your own food. You're poor.
Yeah.
It's kind of like skin tone around the
like
world.
You
if
can't
you're dark
afford
skinned,
to go to the grocery
outside.
store and buy groceries.
Yeah.
And that knocked out the farmer. Like it was looked as lesser if you, like I said.
Where's the grocery store getting their food from? They're getting it from farmers.
Yeah. But here's like I said, what used to piss her off was my grandma's always been into organic food.
Yeah.
And before it was the norm. And she always used to wonder what happened because in the 70s, it started to come back, but it was considered an artisanal thing. Ooh, you're going to go buy your little broccoli from the really woke and with it farm that the great clean Cascade sun of California. And
hey, what's your impression of people like me? Because you got an impression for people for everybody. So what's your impression about I like to buy organic
nothing
food.
wrong. No. Don't take me the wrong way.
I drink kombucha every day. It's all I drink besides water and coffee and a Red Bull.
There's nothing wrong with that, but there's definitely a lot of people out there that push it. Like there is, it's like the product you see where on like, you see it online a lot. It's some 20-year-old who's pitching this product. And they have to tell you that all your our fucking sandals are made in a village, and
that's because if
we're going to charge you $75 for these sandals that we're paying the fucking local 25 cents to make,
because I'll buy it. If I see that your fucking sandals are made in fucking if they're Indonesian flip flops,
right?
Or say what do you call sarongs? I like to wear sarongs at the beach. They're like a man dress. The Hawaiians wear them, you know. If I go and buy one, I can go on Amazon and get one for like $9 or $5, right? It's the same thing. Yeah. Or I can order from a company that's having them made in Bali, and I'll pay $65. And because somebody was like, we get our stuff made in Bali, and this is like, I'm buying it. They got to tell me.
Okay, my point here is, why has that stuff become, like, that stuff is stuff that's always been there?
It's just trend.
It's always considered, it's like, it's not the fancy department store stuff, all right? We're shifting where that's the cheaper stuff, but now people are taking that stuff, like organic vegetables, for instance. Yeah, that was the norm.
And making it more expensive.
And now it's cool, and it's fucking, you're better if you can afford organic food.
You're right, but let me put it to you this way.
That's bullshit, though.
Let's say that your whole fucking family for 2 generations has been growing and selling organic food since the 30s. Yeah. And you have 5 or 6 grocery stores that you sell tomatoes to. Let's just say tomatoes, okay? You guys have been living off of Publix in your area because they buy X amount of tomatoes from you for X amount of dollars, right? It's all organic. Let's just say they're giving you 10 cents a pound. Now all of a sudden around the fucking country, organic food is cool and hip, and everybody else is selling that shit. I mean, they're paying these organic farmers like 25 cents a fucking pound. So now you can now sell to Publix for 25 cents a pound. Are you going to complain about that? Are you going to be like, nah, fuck that. We're originals, and I'm going to keep taking the 10%. You keep your extra 15 cents a pound.
That's the bullshit mentality.
I know, but that's money. Like you're now.
If we keep going in that path, nothing's ever gonna fucking.
That path is okay, I think, because that's just commerce. But
yeah, but
I think you're hating because you did something before it was cool, and now it's cool.
No, I'm not even hating.
And you don't get credit for it.
My whole thing is like we should all have access to fucking nutritious food.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Whole Foods should not be a fucking privileged store.
Listen.
That's my point on that.
That's never going to happen. So since they put out that food chart and they took meat production and milk production and dairy production and all the shit from the house, because they, now that they have to go to the store and buy it, and that's the norm. Now they put out the fucking foods that you should eat, and fucking 40 years later, everybody's fucking fat, obese, and diabetic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the government.
And then that's pharmaceutical.
Why are you still eating? Why are you taking their drugs? Why are you eating their food? And why are you fucking complaining about it? If you don't like it, like this is it. This is the norm. Now, you can make it better for yourself. Mm-hmm. Like I hope that the meat that I buy, because it says grass-fed and organic, I hope that is what it is.
Kind of.
I don't. It is kind of, but I do know if you go to the organic butcher in Dunn, that's not like that's straight fucking grass fed. Now I know that because of big business, they lobbied to get the fucking rules changed. So if I feed my fucking animals a certain thing for 3 days and then slaughter them, I can call them grass fed.
Hunter, he's on here listening. One of my buddies. Yeah. He's a rancher.
Okay.
And he and I got into a big argument one time about what's it called? Angus. And he's assured me that if it's something like that, it's still pretty.
Angus isn't that a fucking species of cow?
Yes, that's from Europe.
Yeah.
And he says that because I was like, I posted something about how like they're charging for this meat and they're saying it's Angus, but in reality, I was thinking the same thing about the grass fed, right? So there's still a little bit of hope in that integrity because he assured me and he's like, dude, I do this as a living. Like when they say Angus, they can't just say it's Angus. Like it has to be Angus. Yeah. But I don't think it applies to grass fed though.
What they did do, okay, so I know this for a fact. There was a lady. That was pointless, but still. Yeah, no, there was a lady that was selling organic, non-GMO and non-antibiotic cow's milk. Mm-hmm. Okay. She was a fucking small farmer, independent, and she started making money. She started taking money out of the pockets of the big fucking corporate milk farmers. Okay.
You fucking smashed her.
Oh, no. These people are the billionaires that own the country. So they use their politic connections to get her to shut down because it was unfair she was putting non-GMO and non-GMO on. I think that's what it was about the GMO. Then while she was suspended fighting that because they hoped that she didn't have the money to fight it, which she didn't. I think some people helped her out. Mm-hmm. Some rich people helped her out with their defense. They then lobbied to change the rules on what was organic. So it used to be organic was no pesticides. Yeah. Or no antibiotics. Or grass-fed beef was grass-fed from the day it was born.
Had to be, yeah.
They changed that in like the USDA market to where you can raise them on grain, and in the last 2 weeks or something of their life, you feed them grass, and you can call it grass-fed, and you can stop the antibiotics by a certain time. You see what I'm saying? So they are allowed to say, it's kind of like the USDA saying you're allowed to find, if you find 16 or less insect particles in a milkshake, then you're okay to sell it. Anything over 16 particles, and you got that's true.
Or is that just a wives' tale?
No, it's true.
Okay,
it's true.
Now
there's certain amount of bacteria when you go into a restaurant. Trust me, you think that it's very clean, and for the most part, they are clean. But it's human beings doing the cooking. The guy's sweating. He's wiping his fucking sweat that's cooking. A lot of times there's no one back there. No one can see. So their hands are going. So they might drop a spoon on the floor. They're not. So you hope that they're doing everything the right way. But I've worked in restaurants before. It's not bad. You're not going to die. But if you knew it, you would be pissed.
You'd be grossed out.
And you'd be grossed out. So.
Now, and you say it's too late, but how come we can't go back to like being more self-sufficient? Like, how? People listen. You go plant plant vegetables.
How many fucking people live in this country?
Like 3 billion, 9 billion?
No. This country is only in like 30 or 300, 400 million.
Okay. No, it's China. We're in the billions.
No, we're not. Don't argue with me on this one. You were right about Virginia and the racial thing, but you're wrong about this. China has like 3 billion. India's got like 1.5.
America's in the billions.
No, we're not. Google it. All right.
Phone's the camera. Let's take a break.
No. I'm going to do it right here.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Billions.
Do you want to take a break, though? Or you want to keep rolling?
I do want to take a break.
I got cotton mouth.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, we're in like 3 billion, bro. I'm telling you. Okay. I just heard this recently.
Can we put some money on this?
Let's put...
a joint. You owe me a joint.
Bet.
All right, so...
Shit, there's fucking 300 million people just on the East Coast, bro.
No, there's not, bro. You're so fucking wrong. You're so wrong...
Hey, look, Peter Pappas.
You're so wrong that I'm going to call you I'm going to say that you're fucking like stupid as fuck.
Okay. Here we go. Drum roll.
What is the
United States population?
I'm going to say it's below 400 million.
I'm going to say 3 billion.
Okay. I'm going to say it's about 350 to 400 million. Now, give or take 10 million.
Okay. I'm going to say it's billions. Anywhere in the billions. Because
Okay, what is the population of the United States? I spelled that wrong. I hit the wrong key because I'm high. All right, come on.
What are you, Afro Man, today? I hit the wrong key because I was high.
Look, I'm bumbling with my fucking microphone.
Come on. Damn the internet.
331.9 million in 2021.
Do we have applause? Okay, bet.
3 fucking billion. I mean, I'm not the smartest motherfucker.
That was a pretty dumb fucking move of me.
You were way...
Maybe I'm thinking global population, 9 billion in the world.
Yeah, but there's like maybe... I think they think that there's like 11 or 7 billion.
9, I think it's close to 9.
Or 9, yeah.
Oh, you know where I got that 3 billion
Don't you remember Jerry Maguire? He said how many people lived on the earth. There's like 3 billion when that one came out.
This is where I got the 3 billion from. Now I remember I had a conversation with my dad last Thanksgiving about like the world when he was a kid compared to the world now.
Yeah, there was only 3 billion people when he was a kid.
Yes, and there's like 9 billion now.
Now, yeah.
And there's going to be like twice that much by 2050.
Yeah, but we got plenty of room.
We do.
We are actually, we're going to take a break. We're actually, and if this is an interesting point, we can discuss it. If not, we'll forget about it because it's a stupid point. But that we actually, everybody thinks that we have a climate and we have a population problem, like resources. We actually are hurting for people. Like in the next 20 years, countries are going to disappear because they don't have enough people.
Right.
So
China and Russia, we talked about. Yep.
Yeah, we're in a people shortage. So let's take a break and we'll come back.
Right.
And we are back.
We're back.
Man, I didn't know you smoked that whole thing. I would have brought more.
Well, I got you next
not
time.
as high. I wish we could smoke it. I don't know if we could. No,
no,
that's
dude.
illegal.
No,
smoking marijuana is illegal, and we don't do that.
Smoking dope.
Smoking
when you
dope.
Call it dope, fucking.
That's all I call it.
Who the fuck
dope.
calls it dope?
Weed and dope, and that's it.
Pot, dope.
Pot, weed, dope. Yeah, that's what it is.
When you say dope,
it's
it reminds
not
me.
Fuego. It's not gas. It's not ganja. It's not cabbage.
Fuego though. It's always been gas.
Maybe in California. That's a California.
I'm gonna tell you something about California though, dude. Like, you know DJ Quick?
Yeah.
Or not? No, DJ Shadow.
No, I know. I don't know DJ Quick. I know who DJ Quick is.
Who's one of those? No. I'm sorry. He was one of those DJs that was like real big in the '90s. He DJ'd for like bands like Everlast.
Yeah.
I think BC. He was one of those dudes.
That was DJ Muggs, I thought.
One of those '90s DJs that was really big, but he remember High Times?
Yes.
Back in the day, you used to read High Times if you were into weed, and like that was like the fucking ooh. If they had High Times, it was the adult store, you know?
Yeah.
But this guy said, like, the best weed he's ever smoked in his life, and this is back in the 90s, was, like, from Northern California.
Northern California's got the best weed in the world.
Yes. So we were smoking that shit back in, like, 8th grade, man. Actually, no, first time, I'll admit this, I don't give a fuck. First time I ever smoked weed in my life, I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm. I was 13, yeah.
12. I'd come back from Virginia. I left Virginia, went back to California.
That's about normal for the 90s.
Yeah. I've been gone for like 2 years. So all my friends were at that age where they were, you know, trying stuff. And I'll never forget, I went to my best friend's down the street's house and his brother had a bong. I was like, ooh, what's that? And I'll never forget that, dude. I smoked it and I went downstairs, dude, because his brother lived in like the attic above the garage.
Yeah.
And I went downstairs.
Coolest guy in the neighborhood, the biggest loser.
Yeah. But no, he was cool as shit. But I went downstairs, man, and like, I guess everyone was happy that I was back. So my cousin made arrangements for me to go to a baseball game with him, and I'm high as shit. Mm-hmm. And like I'm all paranoid. And I remember like doing circles in the kitchen because I didn't know what the fuck was happening. Like I had a little panic attack.
Yeah. And
then I went back upstairs. And I was like, dude, I can't wear my shirt to the baseball game. I'm gonna smell like weed. So my buddy goes and gives me a fucking tie-dye shirt, dude. So here I am, completely fucking stoned at a Giants game at Candlestick Park in like a tie-dye shirt.
For the first time.
And I'm just like, man, those garlic fries are so good right now. Yeah. But it's like, how obvious.
Yeah. The first time I ever smoked weed, I, of course, told the people that I was with, I smoke weed all the time. Because I was the type of kid that, like, lost his virginity way before he did, you know? Like, yeah, I've done it. Yeah, I've smoked weed. And I would actually be like, yeah, I love it.
I smoked drugs before.
And I would just avoid anything further than that, you know? And so we smoked a blunt in a car. I was about 14. I might have been 15. But then we went to the movies where his girlfriend met him. Okay. And the girlfriend that I had at the time wouldn't have been cool with me smoking dope. So I didn't.
Dope.
So I fucking got stoned out of my fucking face because I didn't know when to stop. Mm-hmm. I just kept smoking and smoking. They were passing. There was only 3 of us. And I go to the Omni Theater, which I don't even know if it's there anymore. But I think I was watching. I don't remember what it was, but I was so fucking high that I was like, I didn't want to fucking walk outside when the movie was done. And
I
was so paranoid.
Yeah, that anticipation of doing having to do like that's what when I still think it's kind of funny when it's the norm now. I mean, it's so weird how normal weed is now. Yeah, you know. Yeah. And then there's people I know that would never touch it before, but now that it's legal, no problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, people don't want to fuck. I mean, you could be the most law-abiding citizen, but you're smoking weed and then you get pulled over and you've got it. And, you know, it's like, is it worth me having to fucking, back in the day when they would take you to jail. Yeah. Even now, if they give you a summons or they write you a ticket, it still hassles you and it goes on your record. And people most people are I would say the majority, high majority of Americans are law-abiding citizens.
Right.
Like, for instance, get a speeding ticket and offer that cop $10,000 to not write that ticket. What do you think happens? Would you offer a cop $10,000 to not write you a speeding ticket?
Fuck no. I wouldn't.
Why not?
You fucking get arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he would arrest you.
Yeah, it's called bribery.
But
well, I don't know, man.
Hey, look, in every other in every third world country I've ever been in, they only pull you over to get $5, $10. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So most people follow the
bro, like
law.
In the Philippines, man, my first time there, I didn't know about visas. Like, it's really easy to get a visa for the Philippines. You can get like a 6-month visa if you go to your consulate.
Yeah.
If you go, check us out, people. If you don't know this and you got to go somewhere, go to your fucking local consulate. They can do a lot for you.
Do you know
people don't know that?
Do you know what I did? I was on a tourist visa for 4 years in the Philippines.
Damn.
The fucking guy came to the bar and stamped our fucking passports.
See, that's what I was gonna get into. So, but
that's not legal. It's not legal because you paying him, and we have a fucking law, and I hope there's no statute of. Oh shit! Hold on a second.
Yep. I'm statute of limitations. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say about. We better research some statute of limitations.
I was underage, so it doesn't matter.
No, but when I was there, man. I'll wait till you get done with that. You're gonna edit this, right?
Yeah.
When I was there. So my shit was running out, and I was there for more than 60 days, right?
Yeah.
And we went to the straight government office in Manila, the official government office of, like, tourism. And we're talking about a badged government worker that's there at the desk, and he's like, you can basically submit this, but you should pay me $150.
Or it's going on file 13.
No, he's like, he's like, yes. And I knew the price of it. It was only like $25, right?
Yeah.
But he's trying to tell me that it costs an extra like $150 for him to do it.
Think about that scenario the next time you say, come to America, Mexico, but come the legal way.
Right.
So, yeah, if you read the website, a Mexican citizen has to apply through the visa process, and they have to apply through their consulate or the U.S. consulate, which has Mexicans working there. Americans aren't down there at the gate. There are some in the final process, but most of the other stuff is locals.
We are now tuned into Buddy's mind blowers.
Yeah, so they have to do the same thing. So on the internet, it might say 10 pesos to get that file through, and you can pay the 10 pesos, but that file's going on the bottom. If you want that file to get, I mean, unfortunately, and we have a law in America called the Foreign Corrupt Trade Practice Act, which basically, if you're an American citizen and you go to another country and you even give the driver's license person $1 to not make you wait a day to get your license, you want it right now, it's an extra $1 and it's a bribe.
That's illegal.
That's a crime in America.
In our government to do that. Like, if you're an American, you go do that, it's illegal?
If you're an American and you go to the Philippines and you pay a fucking $1 to expedite a bribe, when you come back to the United States, they can hit you with a $100,000 fine or 10 years in prison maximum.
But here's the thing. What if you're an American and you're going to the Philippines and you know the price and you're trying to pay the price, but they're trying to charge you $200 extra because their fucking hands are in dirt?
If you're smart, you pay it.
That's what happened to me. And I paid it because I didn't know any better.
But if you get caught paying it, now, I don't think that the FBI is going to be looking at the guy who's paying $1. That's so fucking foreign companies.
No. It wasn't to expedite it. It was to just fucking do it.
Well, I understand that.
He's like, hey, American, you fucking American, you're rich. Here, you want a visa?
But that's why I like third world countries, because I know that when I need to get something, I know if I get pulled over for speeding, look, I didn't kill anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fucking murderer. I'm not escaping justice. I was speeding. Here's $10, man. I'll slow the fuck down because I don't want to keep handing out $10.
One day that you're gonna run into the actual like do right cop in foreign countries.
No,
like,
because
I'll
take the. I don't bribe the cop. I never offer it to them. What I would do in the Philippines is I kept 1,000 pesos, which was like $20.
That's a good amount.
I kept it on my fucking on my driver's license on a paper clip. Okay, but I also had a Makati fucking SWAT placard in the vehicle that I was driving, or that was being. I usually had a driver over there. Not that we were rich. That's just normal.
No, it's affordable, man.
The company, my dad's company.
You know,
had
most houses in the Philippines, like if you can afford an actual house, they have a maid quarters in the house.
Yeah, and you have a whole family come, and they're basically your slaves. I mean you pay them shit money, but you give them a place to live, and they're happy to do it because if not, they're living in squatters. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, man.
So
hear that Tupac song.
Yeah, so I would hand my license over, and they would fucking take the money and give me my license back. Or sometimes they saw the placard and they didn't take the money at all because the chief of the Makati SWAT team at the time was a business partner of my dad's. I guess I don't know. I was a kid, but that was the norm, and I like that because, damn, I would rather give you $20 and we'll handle this right here than I have to go pay court cost, mail a letter. Fucking send an email. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather pay the $20, $10, whatever, to have the convenience of not having to waste my life with some petty bullshit, take the money. So that's what I like about third world countries. But yeah, so every time I hear, oh, we're not against immigration. We just think they need to come the right way. Well,
that's a good one. Never heard that impression yet.
Upper middle class people can do it in Mexico because they can pay off the officials. But some of these people that want to come over here and start with nothing, they don't have $200, $300. So what they end up doing, they pay the fucking coyotes like $3,000. But they don't have $3,000. So they're fucking basically indebted. Yeah. So a lot of these people you see playing the fake violin or selling flowers on the side of the road, they could be paying off whoever paid for their shipment here.
Yeah. That's probably what it is.
Because that happens all over the world.
That
happens.
Likely.
Yeah. I mean, you see all those people in Dubai that, Emiratis don't work.
I don't know, though, man. The fake violin dudes, you see those dudes wearing some pretty nice clothes, though, and driving like nice cars.
Well, I'm just saying.
I think that's a gypsy culture.
I don't know what it is. I'm just using it as an example of.
But yeah, no, there's definitely people.
Those people, they're paying thousands of dollars to get shipped over the border, and they have to pay that shit back.
Otherwise, they're dead.
Or there's serious consequences when fucking with the cartel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the next time you hear someone say that there's the right way, well, think about it. You've been through the system where the guy told you $100. Did you pay it?
I had to.
Exactly, because you could afford it. But what if you couldn't afford it?
The thing at the time is like I didn't know. I was ignorant to how much it cost, right? So I thought that was the actual price. When I went back and did my research and I looked at the Philippine consulate online, no, it's only like a $25 fee.
Yeah.
And he was there, and they were in this room, and he had like a fucking ID, which, my wife was like, no, he was an official.
I could have went down and got my passport extended because it's 3 months at a time. Yeah. That's a tourist visa. I could have got my passport extended by going downtown Manila, 90 days. Yep. And, or I could have got on a plane and flew to Korea and then came back in the same day, which a lot of people did.
That's what they do, yeah.
Or I could fucking show the goddamn guy a good time every 3 months in one of the fucking bars with the go-go bars, and buy him fucking free drinks and pay him $100, you know what I'm saying? And then everybody else that was in the same situation as me would come in. That guy would walk out with $1,000. That's more than he made in like fucking 2-3 months over there.
Yeah.
Is it illegal? Is it wrong? Is it this? I don't know what you would call it, but I would right now. I want to move to Costa Rica. There's a lot of paperwork. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's going to cost me $2,500 in lawyer fees to do all the paper, or I could do the paperwork myself.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'd rather pay the $2,500.
Yeah.
You get one thing wrong, and it's like fucking with the VA. You're waiting 3-4 months. Pay the fucking money.
Big one for this week.
Yeah.
Just reminded me of it.
The 22%.
We don't have to go into this at all, but I want to put this out there. We're not going to fucking go too deep into it because it's so. The think tanks. Now, Buddy explained to me that the budget, the fucking National Budget Commission is always trying to hit all points of the budget.
Yeah, trying to reduce it.
Yeah, and it's not an abnormal thing to hit the fucking veterans, budget. But people, think about this, man. They just, by 2024, they want to reduce VA funding by 22%.
Yeah.
Anyone see a little fucking irony?
Well, do they want to cut benefits? Like, so I'm going to take a 22% loss, or they want to cut the funding to the Veterans Administration by 22%.
22%. All around.
Yeah, but if they cut the budget, okay.
But just 22%. Like
the VA is not just your check. The VA is a whole fucking system of bureaucrats.
Joke about that. What's the big thing about 22 with the vet? What does veteran and 22 have in fucking
conspiracy
common?
Because
not conspiracy, but just
that would be a conspiracy. Like, if they chose 22% because 22 veterans kill themselves every day.
Like we are reducing by 22%.
You know that's not correct. 22 veterans don't kill themselves every day.
There's fucking statistics are never correct.
They just take the amount of people that do it in 1 year and divide it by 365 and it averages. So it could be 5 in one day. It could be 100. It's just funny.
I guess it's just an irony because it could have been any number, but 22 in veterans, and it's like, wow,
it could be. It could be. But I don't know, man. Here's the deal. In the next 15 years, I don't know if we covered this. I know I spoke about it to someone else. Our parents are going to, our parents' generation, the baby boomer generation, and some of the Generation X people that are like right on the cusp, they're going to be retiring, and they're going to be cashing out their $400,000, $500,000 Roth IRAs and their retirement plans and their pensions and their Social Security all very rapidly. Okay. I think it's like $32 trillion is going to be transferred back to people, whether they die and their kids get it or they cash it out. The money's not there.
Yeah.
The money's just not there. There's no, like, you think that you have $500,000 in your Roth IRA. You don't. You have $500,000 in IOU.
Yes, we talked about this.
You see what I'm saying? Yep. So when you give that bank $1,000, you think you have, and theoretically, you do have $1,000 in the bank, but it's the bank gives you credit for $1,000. They take your money to do whatever they want with it. Well,
scary.
What we have going on now is they call it the greatest wealth transfer, and I didn't really understand it, so I did some digging, and basically it makes sense. You got two or three generations, because, baby boomers are probably, 4 generations in there, 10 years apart. And they're all going to be retiring, getting their Social Security and all these benefits that they've worked hard for, and the banks don't have the money. So they've got to start cutting the budget. So they're like, okay, we don't want, this will crash the economy. And there might be some people in D.C. that still believe the American people have the ability to revolt. I don't think we do anymore. I think that is kind of been stomped out of us the last 30 years. But there's probably someone up there playing contingency. Like, if we don't give these fucking people their money, they're going to fucking go ape shit.
Well, they also think like this. It's like the 40 years sworn to secrecy. People be too old and decrepit to do anything about it.
Yeah, or there's that too.
Yeah. And then younger generations.
So they got to cut money. So governments love... I think Pappas said this. Governments love consultants. They like to hire outside consultants. So they hire these think tanks and they say, here's our budget. Now, it would be very, very easy to fucking figure our budget out. When you've got fucking billions of dollars being dumped offshore in fucking military equipment that's unused.
Dude.
You see what I'm saying? So
we're going to have to go there next podcast.
But that is not, they don't want to fuck with that. Yeah. Forget about the $9 trillion that the goddamn Pentagon can't account for in their audit. $9 trillion. Couple million, okay, that's a big machine. $9 trillion fucking dollars, there's something fishy going on. So they can start figuring out how to save money. So they hire a bunch of think tanks and they give them millions of dollars. And so they give me $10 million and I go spend $100,000 on thinkers.
Yeah.
Come up with fucking mathematicians, come up with ways. And one of the ways is, we've got a lot of veterans. They're all now. It used to be like only like one. I'm just guessing here.
No, I know where you're going.
One veteran out of like 100 was 100% disabled,
or even claiming VA
or
benefits.
claiming VA benefits at all. With our generation, we're smarter. We have access to more information. Maybe not. We're not smarter, but maybe our parents' generation before that, they didn't know all of the things that we know, and we are getting our money, and it's costing them a lot of money.
But here's the thing, too. There's nothing fucking wrong with that, man.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
In history, Roman soldiers, if they did a career, they would go back to, like, lands.
Yeah.
You were given lands in an estate.
Yeah. Or you got plunder.
Our country has enough money to give every single vet in the military a decent living.
Yeah, they could. Oh, this country?
Yeah.
Every fucking veteran.
Don't get that in your fucking head that like vets don't deserve their fucking benefits.
Every combat, in my opinion, like you asked me this before, I believe not just a veteran that was in the military. If you were a combat veteran, you should always be paid upper middle class. I would like to be paid as a millionaire like $10,000 a month minimum.
Yep.
Because that you can live comfortable. You're not rich at $10,000. That's $120,000 a year.
And how many combat veterans have deployed?
Not a whole lot.
I mean, that was a dumb question.
Yeah.
How many veterans have actually deployed on the GWOT?
A lot, but
couple million maybe.
But not enough that it would hurt the government.
It wouldn't at all. You'd have fucking a couple million more middle class people who are doing well. That would generate fucking.
Here's the thing, too, man.
Has anyone earned it at that extent? I mean, I think
if you're a combat veteran, that you deserve. That's why the Romans gave their combat veterans land.
Yes.
And land today.
I'm very opinionated on this because of what our country has achieved in the past 20 years, and because of the.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you, but it's not going to change. There's no hero coming.
No.
There's not one man. Trump can't get in there. Obviously, he had 4 fucking years. He lost me when he didn't legalize pot.
We haven't had a combat veteran president in like 50 years.
Well, George Herbert Walker Bush was in World War II.
Bush was. Yeah, he's World War II.
He was a pilot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Reagan was in the military.
But like actually in combat.
Yeah.
Bush was shot down.
Bush, I don't know if Bush, I know Bush was a pilot. I know
George
Kennedy
Sr. was shot down.
I know Kennedy was shot down. I didn't know about George Sr.
George Sr. was a badass dude. Like I used to hate that guy, but I'll give him respect for that.
I think Clinton might have been. I don't know if Clinton was the first that wasn't, but he was the first in a long time because I remember that being one of my 15-year-old brain was like, man, you can't be the commander in chief if you've never been in the military, and that was the sentiment for a lot of people, especially Republicans.
Yeah.
But Trump was never in the military.
I really think
and he had bone spurs. Like, come on, man. Audie Murphy was like 14, 15 when he fucking lied his way into combat.
He tried to enlist like 6 times.
My dad fucking enlisted when he was fucking 17 and didn't even graduate from fucking high school or nothing.
Yeah.
People found their way into the military, and you're going to tell me that Donald Trump really had, it was bone spurs. Like, motherfucker, maybe you did, but if you really wanted to get in, you would have got in. Clinton dodged.
Yeah.
But, I can't really blame him. Looking back on the war now, we know more now.
We do.
And, like, I don't want to see my fellow countrymen, brothers, sisters in arms go and fight a war for the Ukrainians. I don't know how you could. I couldn't. There's no way. If I was in the military right now and they said we're going to the Ukraine and we're going to line up on the border and we're going to fucking repel the Russians, I'd be like, I ain't going.
But it's not, I mean, it sucks to say this, but it has to come down to like believing in something, man. And believing in our country still, even though there's no hope left. We have to, like, if you want to, every American that's listening to us doesn't have the options we have. They can't just fucking go and live in another country. They don't want to.
I can't either. I'm just making, you do.
Yeah.
And you can. You just have to figure it out.
But here's the thing too.
Tough, yeah, but what's going to be the fucking out? You never know. Like, you can sit here and you do what you want.
Yeah.
I can't, if I could go now I would already be there. I've been trying to do it for going on 2 years.
Right.
Okay. I can't just up and do it. And no, it's not fucking easy. I'm a single parent.
It's not.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not fucking easy. And my family and his family are here. So it's easy for me here in North Carolina. So taking the easy way out is to stay here and fucking keep complaining. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Because my point though was there are people that there are people that still need this nation to exist and have to have faith in this nation. Now, when it comes to Ukraine, with the way the modern world is, all right, it's been like this since World War I, since imperialism, period. Little conflicts affect our way of life here and our existence here. Now, if I don't agree with Ukraine either, but if Russia ends up taking over Ukraine, all right, and we don't resist, and China steps in and starts doing what they want to do because they have to expand as well.
What has China got to do with it?
Because they're one of the powers. That's
but what does Russia taking over the fucking Ukraine have to do with us? First of all, Ukraine is not even a NATO country, so we're not obligated.
We're not. But
they're not a NATO country. So why would you care? Why do I care if Putin takes over the Ukraine?
Do countries expand territory in 2023? Is that a normal thing that happens anymore? Are we beyond that?
No, it happens all the time. We've been expanding our territory, but we've been doing like what I think
subversively,
geopolitically. Like,
I mean, I'm not saying my answer is the right thing, but I'm saying like we had to do things to exist. What did we do?
Wait a minute. What about Iraq? We invaded Iraq.
We did.
For what?
Global scheme of things.
Yeah, but really, what'd it do? It made people a bunch of money.
Right.
I benefited from it, for the time, but in the long run.
That's what the world is about. Dude.
Right. So I don't understand if Putin takes over fucking the Ukraine, how does that affect us even financially?
It already is.
How?
Gas, dude.
The gas don't. No, that's a bullshit lie. We have our own fucking shit. We don't rely on Russia
I don't know
for
these
gas.
things. I don't study into it.
So what I'm saying is, if you think that we're going to be hurt financially if Russia takes over the Ukraine, well, how? We don't get shit from the fucking Ukraine. They launder our rich politicians' money. That's why they're being defended.
Here's where I think we have to make a stand. I don't think our nation is ever like our interests. Okay, we have global interests now. It's not America where it's defend America's borders.
Well, I only care about America.
It should be.
Yeah,
it should absolutely be. But we're not in a world where we can just sit and defend our borders and be safe.
Yeah, we can. We could. We could.
You really think so?
Yeah.
How?
For sure.
Well, that's a whole other podcast. We're going into a next.
Yeah.
I think we should leave on a cliffhanger because we can go into this. We should, but.
Let's say
so you're
a new world order. You're a one world order guy.
I don't know what I am. I really don't. I don't believe in tucking our tail between our legs and saying fuck it, have Ukraine, China, you take over all. We have to stand for something.
That's happening. There's nothing we're going to do about it. It's happening, but we're not going to stop that. Yeah, China will take Taiwan legally. They have a legal means to do it. They will take it. We just sent over a fucking nuclear-armed submarine to the area. I don't recall them, they didn't ask us about that. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This administration that's in there now, I wouldn't say they're provoking it as in they're playing tough guy. I believe it's all planned. I think it's all orchestrated.
Master puppet shit.
I think that maybe that it's going to go to, China's going to have this part of the world with, and where they're going to leave us alone. Like that's the next thing, because if we, I guess, continue to play this globalist type shit, like right now, if China fucking cuts us off from imports, where are we going to get we don't make anything here anymore.
We used to.
So they got us by the fucking balls. Yeah, we used to. Is it ever coming back?
It's not, but that's why we have
to. What if we got a president in there tomorrow that said, fuck world imports, we're going to start making shit again. As of today, no more imports. The economy's going to tank because no one's going to be able to get nothing. And the businesses are going to lose so much money because they're manufacturing shit over there. So it would take us fucking 20 fucking years to build a new, maybe more. Maybe today we could do it in 10 years. But Americans don't like the long game. We need results now.
Taliban like the long game,
and look at the fucking generation that would have to go and work in these textile mills to make our shit. Do you really think they're going to go and do it? No. We can't. We don't even have people in this country that want to fucking build anything anymore. It's all coming from South America. Yeah. Now there are still some guys out there that are American that are contractors, but they're if they're successful, they're contractors and they're hiring South American help.
Yeah.
They're doing well in eating and maybe making, a good coin doing the work themselves when they want to work. It's not in the millions of dollars. Right. You just can't. You just can't work that many hours. And you can't charge $1,000 an hour. You know what I mean? You can, I guess, but you're looking at like $100 an hour is about what we look at charging, because I got to pay somebody 20 to 25, and all that, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So
what's the balance though? What's the fucking,
Well, if you ask me honestly, my
Costa
opinion,
Rica?
My opinion is this: if I'm an elitist and I'm a government, I'm thinking like
don't think like that though. Think of it like a normal person.
No,
because
normal people don't run the government.
Yeah, but we have to survive. Do. Like we're normal people, man. You and me are normal people.
Yeah, but we don't have nothing to do with what goes on up there. So
people that are listening to us are mostly normal people.
Yeah, but we can't do anything about it.
I know.
We can either fucking suck it up and drive on and deal with it, or we can leave. Yeah. Some people believe, like my dad, he'll say, you vote for the fucking people and you hope they get there. And I was like, you can take your hope to church.
Yeah.
I'm about being real.
Yeah. It's definitely different. Even just in our generation, like our parents, between us, they don't realize how bad it is now. When you talk to people that are older than us, they see it, but they don't really understand how bad it is and how hopeless it is.
I think that people that still have hope that it's coming back or it can be corrected. Yeah. I think that they don't know how bad it is.
That too, though.
So you ask me how I think. I think that the government of America should try to conquer the entire world. Like if we're going to go to Mexico, and we're going to manufacture a lot of our stuff there, then we should just go ahead and put an American flag. We should go ahead and just fucking get Canada and just conquer everybody. If you want a one world government, then it should be a super American government, not. And that's, that's how I think it should be done. Do I want to do that? No, because I'm not a fucking psychopath. I don't want to fucking be in charge of murdering a bunch of people to make that happen. But as an American citizen, I want what's best that's going to make my life easier. Right. Give me the illusion that I have free speech. Give me the fucking illusion that I own my property. You see what I'm saying? As long as everything's copacetic, I might get through this life without fucking realizing that it's not a free, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But what's going on now, it's like so in your face that the government is so corrupt now. They, like I said, they used to try to hide it from me.
Now it's.
So the only way I can fucking manage is I don't care. Right. Like I care when I go and I fucking fill up my truck and it's $4 a gallon or it's $3.50 and it used to be $1.92 or it used to be 87 cents. I care about it then, but how do I correct that? The next time I give you a fucking quote for your bathroom or your fucking your roof, my price is higher to compensate for the amount of gas. You see what I'm saying? So people in my business, we kind of fucking are not recession proof, but if you're a hustler, you're recession proof because you can spin your roofing business that died because or slowed down because you can't get the materials right now. Or something happens, you can flip. All I am is a hustler. All I got to do is, hell, you might be telling me how you would like to have a built 1957 Chevy Bel Air, blah, blah, and all this stuff. And I'd be like, well, I'll get you one. Give me fucking, how much you want to spend? 80 grand? I'll get it done for you. Yeah. I can flip that because I got a guy like Martin who's a fucking engineer when it comes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So hustlers are like recession proof. Yeah. And plus we can always sell dope. So.
True. Yeah, man.
Anyway,
I just try to keep. I mean, there's got to be hope somewhere,
well, I hope that you find it.
Dude, I was thinking about this. I've been thinking hard about this for like weeks, man.
Oh, I've been thinking about it for years.
Yeah, well, years. Yeah, but really hard for weeks. And like I said, it's very hard to stay hopeful at all in this society. Just being outside daily,
bro. They are discussing in serious sit-down conversations in city halls and Congress halls and state legislatures and government legislatures and fucking school board meetings. They are literally arguing about fucking gender. Gender is like math. You either have all Y chromosomes or you have X and Y chromosomes. If you have all Y chromosomes, you have a fucking vagina, you're a female. You can pretend all you want. That's a given. Anybody knows that. A fucking 4-year-old knows that the first time he looks down and sees that little Sally doesn't have a pecker. Yeah. We understand that. It's just
it's distraction.
The fact that there are good numbers of people that are engaging in this. Yeah. I'm not going to have that argument with you. I'm not going to try to prove. I don't have to. If you think there's fucking 5 genders, 10 genders, 1,000 genders, you're a fucking moron, and as long as you don't fucking affect me making money or losing money, you're free to go do whatever you want. Yeah. But do it over there. Now it's like mainstream. Yeah. You've got people the people running this country are the same people that run Anheuser-Busch. Those are the same people. Yeah. The nephew, the son, the cousin, whatever, the grandson of Anheuser-Busch owner, he becomes a congressman, a senator. These are the same people. They grow up in a bubble of rich people. Yep. Like, where do you summer? Do you summer? Do you go summer? Where do you summer?
Oh,
where do you winter?
I don't summer.
You don't. We live in we're poor. We are fucking poor.
We live in the poor.
Yeah,
that's a bumper sticker we need to make, man.
So
you live in the poor.
These people are so out of touch that they thought that it was a good idea to be, let's demasculine Bud Light and put 365 days of womanhood. Like, you are shitting on women. Like, there are women out there, like, I don't know their names. Like, I always go ahead and say, like, Billie Jean King, tennis player, or these fucking women that have fought, I think,
Isn't
Ryan,
what was that? Jenner. Isn't Caitlyn Jenner, like, Bruce? Isn't he like, this is fucking nonsense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wasn't he like, this has gone to, or she
is actually a conservative.
She got fully transformed, though.
I don't know. Did she still got?
Yes.
No, I think she still got a dick.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll have to do a little.
Yeah, that's gross. They fucking, when they turn your fucking dick into a vagina, it's like the hair still grows because all they do is stuff your scrotum.
Man, I'm programmed. I'm wired. I don't.
But hey, if you want to do that, I don't care. I'll call you ma'am. I'll call you whatever you want me to call you. People are like, well, I'm not calling nobody this or that. This is that. Hey, look, if I knew you and we were friends and you said, hey, I don't want you to call me Brennan anymore. I want you to call me Dopey. I'll call you fucking Dopey.
I just don't know what the fuck's wrong with, like.
If you want me to fucking, now I won't fucking change up my pronouns because I'm not smart enough. I don't really know when to change that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say he and she and all that. But if you decide tomorrow that you want to be a woman, I'll make fun of you. As you know, but when it comes down to it, behind your back, I'll say her. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
But you believe in the future. And the way things are going, man, they'll be able to like put embryos inside people that were males.
Hey, have at it.
That's the future, bro.
Have at it. I don't know. I mean, so
it's confusing,
you
man.
asked me, I only have, if I'm lucky, I've got another 45 years or maybe 50 because people are living past 100. Yeah. And I'm pretty healthy. I'm going to stay that way. Yeah. So I'm halfway through life now. I don't want to spend the rest of my fucking life watching Fox News or CNN or MSNBC, arguing with people, always being on the lookout for who's a fucking cunt and who's a moron and who's the despicable person and who's the fucking woke piece of shit or I don't want to be the woke piece of shit thinking that you're a fucking deplorable. I don't want to be involved in that. I mean, Hillary Clinton had a point.
What the fuck is a deplorable?
Somebody who's like white trash. That's what
why is there
that's what she was saying.
Why is there a label for everything now, man? We have to categorize everything.
Well, you have to have labels, Brent. Come on. Don't play the fucking now you're being like the super woke. The super liberal. No, because woke wants labels. Liberals typically don't like labels.
I'm not a liberal.
I don't like labels either, but
I'm not a liberal.
I have to put something, I have to make sense to people. So if I'm talking to somebody, if I say, hey man, I'm looking for my friend Brennan, he's a white guy, he's a fucking ginger, he's kind of dopey.
That's me.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean that. I'm just saying
that's me.
I have to say a white guy. I can't say, hey, well, what does he look like? Well,
he's a guy.
Well, wait a minute. I don't want to put him in a category of being a white man. Or if a friend of mine's black and I'm like, hey man, do y'all know motherfucking Kenny? Is Kenny been out here? Which Kenny? Black Kenny? Yeah, he's been out here. That's normal. But what you're talking about with fucking labels, I mean, I don't know, man.
It's like deplorables.
You get mad about the shit. You text me some shit sometimes and you're like mad, like, I can't believe, but why don't you get that mad about the fucking, the powers, the rich people, that the fucking people.
I can't do anything about them, man.
You can't do nothing about the fucking.
I know I can't, but you know what? It's okay to be mad, man. It's okay.
Man, I don't like being mad.
You know one of my favorite fucking
I like
verses
taking it easy.
Ever? Your hate makes you powerful. Who said that?
I don't know.
The Sith Lord in Star Wars.
Who said if you got hate in your heart, let it out?
Fuck John Lennon? I don't know.
No, I think his name was Tyrone Bigsby.
Tyrone Biggums?
No, Bigsby.
Clayton Bigsby?
Clayton Bigsby.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Clayton Bigsby said, if you got hate in your heart, let it out.
Clayton Bigsby was a fucking made-up character, but so was the Sith Lord. I don't, man.
No, man.
I believe in respect, and I believe in doing the right thing. Yeah, that's it.
I don't want people thinking that I'm some type of fucking trippy dippy fucking hippie. That I don't.
Well, your hair sure fucking looks like.
There's
it right
people.
Now.
My hair, I'm growing it out, man.
Looks good, man.
I'm growing it out, and then as soon as it gets to like shoulder length, I'm dreading that shit up.
You know, it's a cool thing in life.
Dreadlocks.
Have you gotten to that point?
Going back to my white people roots with dreadlocks.
Have you ever gotten to the point where you know you're older and you're not the fucking 20-year-old that wasn't his peak, physical, but you just don't fucking care?
No, I don't care.
It feels good.
I love being in my 40s.
Like this stupid ass mustache, man. I would have never grown this shit when I was 20, man.
You should shave it now.
I like it.
Or grow the beard back.
Nah, I fucking like it.
Yeah.
I'm
it's on your face.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, man, I am having fun in my 40s, man. I just today, I think I realized that I'm going to have to start using glasses to read.
Oh, no.
I've had 20/21 vision my whole life, like perfect vision. And I noticed I don't know if it's probably from looking at my phone all the time, but I was looking at something and I noticed that I used to be able to pick something up. Let me see. And read it like this. That's how I would read a book, like this close to my face. But right there, it's blurry. Now I can see it. I can put this on the wall across the room and I can fucking read it. But when it's up here, I can't read it. It's blurry. Yeah. And I think that I got to probably just get those cheater glasses.
Hey man, you can make it rock.
But
glasses are stylish.
But I think I don't think I don't have to wear them. I just have to wear them for reading. I think my dad only wears. He's 70 or he'll be 70, and he doesn't wear glasses. He wears glasses whenever he reads.
Yeah, my dad too.
But they're not prescriptions. They're the ones that he buys from like the drugstore.
Yeah.
So I guess I inherited that because my brother and sister and my mother all wear glasses from the time. I think my sister started wearing glasses when she was about 12, and so did my brother.
Yeah. So they did that thing with me when I went to a full optometry exam when I was med boarding, and the doctor literally sat there. He's like, "This is you when you're in your 40s, and this is what your vision's gonna look like in your 50s." It slowly was declining. Yeah. And he's like, "You're not gonna need glasses permanently, but you're gonna need. You have astigmatism, and it's slight now, but I've noticed it. Like my left eye vision is." Yeah, it's blurry. Yeah. But he's like, you're gonna need reading glasses. And I'm like, I'm cool with that, man.
Yeah, hey, it happens,
it's like,
man.
It's embracing life. You know,
it's like my gray hair, man. Every time I fucking notice my gray hair, it's more gray hair than the last time. But
fuck it.
I look at it like this, man. When I don't know how to say this without sounding chauvinistic, like. I don't know, man. I'm 45. I'm gonna be 46 here in a few months. My hair's gray and I'm getting a little slower. But you're if I work hard enough, your 25-year-old girlfriend, I could still pull her. I think it's in my brain. And I've talked to females. Like the 3-second eye contact rule. Yeah. If I'm still getting it, then my gray hair is fucking working. Yeah. And I'm telling you, I'm starting to get it a lot more with younger chicks, which I'm not interested. First of all, I'm not interested. I'm in a relationship with a wonderful person, and I'm not going to jeopardize that. But I'm starting to notice, like, it's like a TikTok trend last year where these younger girls were talking about dating older guys, and it like stuck, I guess. Or, it was brought to my attention by somebody last week, a female, that said that that's always been a thing. Like, you're just at that age now, but... Yeah, man. But I don't want to be the old fucking fat dude like this guy I saw in, where was I, at the DMV or something? And this guy was like 65, and he was probably 5'4" and weighed like 400 pounds, and he's like breathing hard, and he's like, "Oh, I got to sit down. I got bad knees." I'm like, "Yeah, you got bad knees because you weigh 400 pounds, you fat fuck." Yeah. Like, seriously. And that's another thing that I am getting bad about that. The healthier that I get, the more judgmental I become at fucking overweight people. Yeah. And I hear them all the time. "Oh, I'm fucking happy." No, you're fucking not. Your wife's not fucking looking at you with any type of sexual desire when you got fucking man tits, and you're fucking hairy and you're fucking double chin. She loves you. Yeah. And she's not going to leave you, but she's looking at me. She's looking at the guy on TV. I just threw that one in there. She's looking at the fucking 6-pack dude on the beach. I knew that even when I was, because I'm still not in that type of shape. I still got dad bod. I'm not ripped or nothing like that. So I just accept the fact that when I'm with my girlfriend and there's a guy who's fucking ripped, I'm not getting mad at her that she's looking at that. Yeah. I'm looking at it like, damn, I need to step my game up. Same thing when a chick walks by that's fucking hot. She knows I fucking noticed her. Yeah. I don't fucking rubberneck because I'm not like that type of dude, I do that shit discreetly. Like, okay,
let's get this straight though. That's nature, man.
It's nature.
There's nothing. People look at attractive things. Yeah, you're drawn to attractiveness.
So
period.
If you're fucking looking at yourself in the fucking mirror and you're fat and you're out of shape and you got man tits and you got a double chin and all that, your wife loves you because she's a female. You know what I mean? But she's not sexually attracted to you anymore. She's fucking doing the fucking, you know what I'm saying? So you're not happy. That's one aspect of it. Number two, when you fucking bend over to tie your fucking shoes if you're out of breath. You don't like that shit. No. You just fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't.
Now, if you got a severe injury and you can't, like, you're, I get that.
But that's not, see, here's the thing. It doesn't mean that you're a lazy piece of shit, that you're fat. It means that your fucking diet sucks.
Yeah.
It's not that you're fucking, I know guys that are fucking active. They're like landscaping and stuff, but they're overweight because they drink Mountain Dew and they eat fucking Little Debbie snacks and they eat fucking Vienna sausages or Vienna sausages. I think my ex-wife called them Vienna sausages, so I started doing that. But they eat junk. They go to Burger King. You know, they go to fucking a night out to dinner with the families at the Golden Corral. They eat, you know what I'm saying? And so you can tell these people, again, corn syrup's illegal in every other fucking country. Why are you drinking? You can tell them all this, and they're like, well, fuck that. I ain't giving up my Mountain Dew. So there's no excuse for it. So it really irks me that I can look at pictures of family vacations at the mountains and at the zoo and look at all the people and everybody's in shape. And now look at people. You see somebody who's in shape, you fucking look at them. They stand out, yeah. And you're like, wow, what am I? Fuck, you start judging yourself.
Yeah.
And it all stems from when big business took the means for people to do for themselves in their home and put it in a grocery store. Yeah. Now they dictate the food and sugar and even tobacco and all this stuff. They were fucking buying science so they could poison us. Well, there you go. So you're fucking, if you are 6 foot tall and your waist is bigger than, I'll give some grace here. If your waist is bigger than 36 or you're in a 36, you're a fat bastard. You need to fucking become a more high quality human being and high quality male for your woman, or so you can attract women and get your ass in a fucking 34 where you fucking belong. If you're 7 feet tall, okay, 38, 6'5", you're a tall guy. You're 6'5", so maybe you're a 34, right? 35,
33, 34.
Yeah, that's amazing.
When I'm big,
I'm a 33 and I'm a 6 foot tall. Yeah. I should be in a 32.
See, now here's my thing. I've always had a layer my entire life, even when I was in the Army at peak condition.
Because your diet. That's because
not my diet. I was on a good diet. I just, dude,
you were still getting glucose and fucking.
I don't know what. I was eating.
What were you eating?
Clean, bro. Like boiled eggs, oatmeal for breakfast. Running fucking 8 miles a day.
Yeah. Well, I was never fucking shredded up either because
I've never had a six pack.
I was skinny. I didn't either.
Yeah,
I was thin.
Lean. I was lean
and I was lean, but I was, in order to get that fucking no body fat, you have got to really fucking try.
That's my natural state though. Like I was able to run 2 miles in 12 minutes at that peak. I was able to road march fucking 20 miles. I could do a full circuit workout. I had endurance, but I still had, a little bit here.
Because your diet sucked.
No, because I wasn't 0% body fat.
No, but your diet sucked. If you would have had a better diet, you would have been shredded, is what I'm telling you. That's science. That's not my opinion. Wait a minute. That's not my opinion. I'm not saying that you had the perfect diet and you did the perfect amount of exercise, but it's just in your genetics not to be shredded.
I don't think
that's what you're saying. You think your diet was good, but I don't know enough about dietary stuff that you said that. But
I did drink a lot.
There you go. That's glucose.
What it was. Yeah. So.
Well, come the fuck on. Those calories.
Yeah.
There's fucking like sugar in beer.
You can transform your body completely.
Yeah. So if you fucking, just because you're fucking fat doesn't mean you're a lazy piece of shit. It just means your diet sucks.
I guess my point was.
Diet is like 95% of it.
Biggest my waist has ever gotten in my life is 38. Biggest
wow.
Ever.
That's a fat bastard.
Well.
How'd you get that fat?
I don't know.
Diet?
No. Same diet. Same physical activity.
I guarantee you, we're going to dissect your diet one day. I'm going to find that you're fucking probably hooked on sugar.
Oh, that's given.
That's why you're not ripped.
Yeah. Well,
you're in good shape now. With your t-shirt on, your waist is small. You've got a fucking broad. You got broad shoulders.
But here's the thing, too.
Your legs aren't really small. So you already kind of look. So all it would take was a strict diet and this summer, and you would fucking get ripped.
Okay. I was very, very lean, slender, and lean. My wife didn't like it. She said she wanted me to have more weight on me.
Well, okay, listen.
Yeah.
Females like the dad bod. You want to know why? Because when a man is shredded, every fucking female is sexually attracted to him, and they don't like the competition.
Is that the truth, though?
That's my very, very good assumption. Women that say they like a dad bod over a shredded guy, it's born out of their own insecurity.
Okay.
I've said that to women, and I've had honest women that don't give a fuck be like, yeah. I was talking to a bartender one time, and she was like, I guess some guy was hitting on her, and she was like, she only likes pasty, out of shape white guys that play video games.
Was she being serious?
Red hair and freckles. I thought she was joking because she didn't want this guy hitting on her. Oh. And she might have been joking, but I kept like, what, really? She's like, because if he's at home and if his fat pasty ass is at home playing video games, he's not out cheating on me.
But you brought in red hair and freckles though. Why is that considered unattractive too? I
guess pasty, red hair, and freckles is not attractive.
You just said it.
It's not. But you don't. I mean, you don't have a lot of freckles.
I have a shit ton of freckles. You kidding me?
Well, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't fucking make the rules. I'm not calling you an ugly bastard because, like I said, I don't notice that you have red hair and you don't have freckles all over your face. Okay?
You surf with me.
I don't see fucking freckles all over your face. I mean, I maybe, but what I'm saying is that is a stereotype. So pasty, red hair, freckles, and plays video games, you think ultimate loser.
Well,
there's some redheaded guys. Come on, there's got to be redheaded guys out there that pull bitches.
Yeah, I guess. Not really.
I can't think of any.
See?
Damn, it sucks, man. I'm glad I'm not fucking ginger. You know what though? People are, you know, like, I wish that I had blue eyes. If I had blue eyes, I'd be killing it. I'd be killing it. I'd be sleeping with Brooke Shields right now. Blue
Shields.
Fucking eyes.
Brooke Shields looks like a tranny, bro.
Oh, I love Brooke Shields. I love Brooke Shields. Anyway, I love since Blue Lagoon. Or Return to Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
That's one of the first titties I ever saw was Brooke Shields. And I had a girlfriend in, I think it was in 6th grade that looked just like her.
Yeah.
Lindy Howe, if you're out there.
Brooke Shields in the 80s was a dime.
She looked just like Brooke Shields. The
now
eyebrows.
these women who are hot in Hollywood who are still, they get too much plastic surgery now.
Yeah.
And they look like balloon faces.
I fucking hate it. But look, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah,
dude.
we do.
We've already got like 2.5 hours and we're going way overboard. And I've got to get home because my dog bit somebody today, and he's okay. He only bit his shoe.
Oh.
So I got her a muzzle, and when I put that muzzle on her,
no skin broken or anything?
No, huh?
Oh, okay.
No, he was cool. My son freaked out, but I guess I understand. All right, y'all, thanks for tuning in. Please, I guess we got to start saying that at the beginning. Like, just give us, if you're watching, just hit the like button.
Fuck with us, man.
Give a fucking dislike. I don't care if you don't like something. Comment, spread the word. We're growing. I'd like to grow a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Because I would like to stop fucking installing roofs and doing people's bathrooms and trying to build decks and shit like that. So,
hey, guests.
What?
We got to get some guests lined up.
I'm trying, man. It's hard to get people to commit when you can't pay them.
Oh, yeah. True.
People want to do it, but then it's like, oh, shit, I can't my wife or I can't my kid.
Yeah. It's life.
It's life. But if I was paying them, then they would be like, I want to try to get Ric Flair.
That's Ric Flair?
Ric Flair lives in Charlotte. I want to find out how much he would charge, and then I'm going to fucking raise that money.
Let's do it. Let's email his fucking publicist.
No, I am. I was going to do it today, but I forgot because I had a lot going on. But tonight when I go home and I get really fucking lit up, I'm going to email his team and see what the rate. He's probably got a press packet where if you want him on, you've got to give him hotel. But he lives in Charlotte, you know what I'm saying? And he just started a new business. And I have loved Ric Flair since even when I hated him as a kid, the Nature Boy. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you got anything you want to close out on?
Hey, man, just thanks for tuning in. Hey, man, woman, whatever the fuck you.
Hey, man. I wanted to get a fucking dog and name it Hey, Man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Like Tom Cruise's monkey from that movie. You ever see that movie, Rock of Ages?
No.
Oh, it's a good movie.
What was that bumper sticker? Go back and rewind the podcast, and we got to make that bumper sticker made.
What bumper sticker?
I just said we should have a great bumper sticker that you said something fucking hilarious earlier, but since we were stoned, I forgot.
I don't fucking
Anyways,
remember.
Thanks for tuning in.
I'm turning it off because we'll sit here and talk.
How copy? That's a good copy.
Oh, shit. Why is that?
Oh, no. What the fuck happened?
We know we're recording, but the button is off here.
Because the battery, maybe?
Roger. I say again, line Lima, 38, Sierra, Papa Victor, 324, 429. I'll copy.
Solid copy. Do you have any remarks? Over.